Distinguished Chief Guest, keynote speakers, esteemed directors, sir, academic advisors, sir, in absence here, respected principals, sir, Director IPSSL, the intellectual congregation of faculty members, research scholars, students, ladies and gentlemen. A warm morning to one and all. On behalf of USBM fraternity, I, Professor Nandita Mahapatra, extend you all a grand welcome to the National Seminar on New Age Innovations, IPR and Sustainability, the newscape for SDGs. Well, sustainability is the bridge where innovation meets purpose. The synergy of innovation, intellectual property rights, and sustainability is crucial for achieving the sustainable development goals. By fostering collaboration, ethical practices, and equitable access, the trend creates the transformation solution that addresses global issues. Together, they empower humanity to build a sustainable, inclusive, and prosperous future. Keeping this theme intact, I am profusely elated to greet you all in the presence of all our esteemed dignitaries. To begin, let us welcome all the dignitaries who are on the dais with a flag bouquet. I request all the student volunteers to do the needful. Ladies and gentlemen, let us put a huge round of applause while we welcome the chief guest, principal sir, and director IPR. Thank you, students, for doing the needful. The lamp symbolizes the dispel of darkness, the ignition of enlightenment, and the quest for knowledge. Keeping USBM traditions intact, let's initiate the occasion by seeking the divine's blessing. May I request all the dignitaries on the dais to initiate the lamp lighting ceremony, and let's begin the national seminar. Please, sir. May I request all the audience to rise for the occasion. I request all the keynote speakers to please come forward. Thank you so much, esteemed dignitaries, for doing the honors. Upholding the tradition of USBM, I would again request everybody to stand up while we play the USBM anthem. Thank you so much, everybody. Merit accounts for performance, experience accounts for excellence, and a combination of this creates brilliance. And this is embodied in our principal, sir. He exemplifies our value of commitment towards academics. May I request our respected principal, sir, Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Das, to give the inaugural address. Please, sir.
Good morning to all and all present. Honorable Chiefs, Professor Dr. Omkar Mahathi, former Vice Chancellor, Vijay Pune University of Technology, and respected Director USPM, Mr. Somitan Bolwar in absence here. Esteemed keynote speakers, my dear IQC Director, distinguished delegates from other institutions, media persons, my dear colleagues and students. At the outset, I, on behalf of United School of Business Management, welcome you all to this national seminar. USPM has always tried to inspire minds with continuous development of skill sets through interactions with great brains from various walks of life. Today's national seminar on EY's innovations, IPR and sustainability, the new landscape for SDGs, attempts to create a platform for meeting of minds. The seminar aims to contribute to a shared future with prosperity is inclusive, innovation flourishes, and creativity becomes the cornerstone of sustainable development. In a rapidly evolving world, the intersection of intellectual property and the sustainable development goals is a crucial landscape where innovations and creativity coverage to pave the way for a shared and sustainable future. Intellectual property encompassing patents, copyrights, trademarks, and trade secrets plays a pivotal role in incentivizing and protecting the fruits of human creativity. The SDGs, a global call to action to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure prosperity for all, find a powerful ally in the realm of intellectual property. Renowned academicians and industry personnel are present here to share their expertise. We can hope that some mind churning will take place and some positive findings will come up. I hope this national center can unfold several other aspects of innovations, IPR, and sustainability. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to our esteemed guests who have accepted our invitation to grace the occasion. I would like to thank all the staffs and students of USPM who have been working hard for the last 1 month to organize this seminar. Again, I welcome you all and wish great success for this program. Thank you.
So truly said, innovation without sustainability is without a progress. Thank you so much, Dr. Das, for enlightening us and giving that inaugural address. Next, we have with us a man who is marked by unwavering perseverance and passion, a man of discipline, a professor in English par excellence. Ladies and gentlemen, let me request Dr. Manoranjan Rath to come forward and address the august gathering. Please, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. Honorable Chief Guest of the occasion, Omkarnath sir, um, the eminent dignitaries from various universities and institutions of Odisha, uh, other guests, invitees from different colleges, dear principal sir, my colleagues, and the students. Uh, Really, it's a rare privilege for me to share the stage with Omkarnath sir because, sir, I am a fan of your erudition and your literary sensibility. Say, I still remember when he was a VC of BPUT, there was an orientation program for the English faculty members, and I regret to say, sir, that was the last one. After that, no orientation program has been organized by BPUT. Say, in that okay, on that occasion, actually, during some informal conversation with us, Sir shared some experience from Jamshedpur when he had some conversation with the American ambassador. And sir, still I remember those things and I share with my students, say how sir asked him, tell me honestly, what are the things that you do not like about Indians? And how he said that there are only two things I don't like, and one is you people are judgmental and you don't have patience. Sir, I always share this with students who come for the first time. I remember that. And on this occasion, uh, when we have all gathered, and I express my heartfelt gratitude to all the invitees, to all the dignitaries who are from different places. I think there will be a lot of mind churning, as I said. And in absence here, as director sir is absent, I will read out his message for this seminar. Uh, and I consider this a privilege. This is sir's message. Honorable Chief Guest Professor Dr. Omkarnath Mohanty sir, former VC BPUT Odisha, esteemed dignitaries and eminent panelists, respected Principal Dr. Das, invitees from other institutions, members of USBM family, and dear students. I wish a very good morning to all. It is my pleasure to be a part of this inaugural session. United School of Business Management has been working hard to make the future professionals corporate ready. Our college has been making relentless efforts to create a platform where minds will meet and ideas will bring about the necessary changes in society. This national seminar is another effort in that direction. Management is not a static subject. It evolves through time and circumstances. This dynamic nature of management has modified the principles and practices with a set of challenges before the new age professionals. With innovations, we can achieve sustainable development goals to create a better society for all. Due to radical changes in various sectors recently, we must analyze it with a new perspective, which is more realistic and relevant. The challenges also give us the opportunities to find out the best in a given situation. I hope this seminar will open up new vistas in that direction. The interaction with the experts will certainly inspire the participants to work in the right direction. I express my gratitude to all the invitees for joining us and all the family members for their hard work to arrange everything in this grand way. I wish the seminar all success. Thank you all.
No doubt, innovation fuels progress and sustainability ensures its future. So thank you so much, Director IPC, Dr. Rath, for your valuable words and giving Director Sir's message. Mr. Sumikan Galbantrai could not be with us due to his schedule, but he is a man of vision and a fountainhead of illuminate ideas. So with this, let's come to the most awaited moment in the inaugural ceremony. We have with us a man of knowledge, experience, and inspiration. His spirit of integrity with 100% dedication to the world of education is remarkable. His ardent service has made a difference to the larger community for a greater good. Yes, I'm talking about our Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. ING Omkar Nath Mohanty. Sir is the Director, Technology and Academic Initiative, RSB Metaltech RSB Group, Pune. Coming to his rich profile, Professor Mohanty is a BTech and MTech in Metallurgical Engineering from IIT Kharagpur, a PhD in Material Engineering from the University of Karlsruhe, Germany, Business Administration from CEDP, a part of instead in France. He has served excellently in diverse fields as a professor in IIT Kharagpur, Director Label Scientist at CSIR National Metallurgical Lab, Jamshedpur, Director Research and Development at Tata Steel, Tata Research Professor at IIT Kharagpur, and Vice Chancellor, Biju Patnaik University of Technology, Orissa, before taking up the current position in 2010. He has supervised more than 13 PhD doctoral dissertations, 15 MTech dissertations in the area of metallurgical and material engineering. He holds 17 patents, published over 130 original research papers, written chapters in several international books. He has also been awarded with a lot many awards like Fellow National Academic Science India, National Metallurgist Day Award for Mining of Steel from Government of India, the Best Industrial R&D by Tata Steel, Lifetime Achievement Award, Institute of Material Engineers in India, Bhubaneswar chapter. So the list just goes on. So having such a vibrant personality from the world of technological innovation, I should stop reading his rich profile. Let's listen from the man himself. So ladies and gentlemen, let's put a huge round of applause while I request Honorable Chief Guest, Professor Dr. Omkar Nath Mohanty to come forward and share his valuable words. Sir, please.
Good morning, everyone present here. The Professor Das, who represents the Director of United School of Business Management. Professor S.K. Das, the Principal of USPM, and the person who actually brought me here, Dr. Naik, and the esteemed guests from outside the USPM corporate here, namely Professor Mishra, Dr. Pawan Kumar, and Professor Patil. In their own ways, they are extremely well known in their respective fields. The distinguished faculty of USPM, the student members for whom actually basically the national seminar is meant. So I would like to first of all thank Dr. Nandita Mahapatra for the kind words. I don't think I deserve anything of them. All biodata they read flamboyantly. So my apologies if they have been amplified beyond reality. Uh, be that as it may, most important is your seminar part. I was not prepared primarily to speak here as a speaker. So good that you have chosen me only as the chief guest, which is supposed to be an event which will be passing over as soon as possible because you look forward to the real business end. So that being so, when Dr. Naik actually approached me, I was thinking that I would not be able to make it. But there is a very compelling reason why I thought I must come here. The compelling reason is the items of innovation, IPR, sustainability, the new landscape for SDG, each one of them actually is extremely close to my heart. So, which is why I thought that let me go and share some of my feelings, some of my thoughts on this area, for whatever it is worth. Because it is not a fact anymore that we would think of the climate change, whatever is taking place around the globe, no matter whether the US election shows otherwise, that the realities have not been understood and felt, whether it is Odisha or Cuttack or Khurda or Koraput, or in South America, in the Amazon Delta, you see the stump of the climate change everywhere, and of course the devastation and the changes which are taking place. And therefore, it is no more a figment of a fiction or imagination. It is very much a reality. So it's important. But at the same time, a country like India, what can it do in order that it will be moving on the field of industry, and at the same time be conscious of that? So it is very important for all of us. It's not life as usual. It's not business as usual, what was happening when I was a student today. That is for sure, whether you recognize or you do not. But having said that, I have a small complaint. The complaint is, of course, each one of these would actually demand a full week. Each one of these. And therefore, it would be presumptuous on my part if I were even to attempt and try to say how they expand and how they are connected. So what do I do under these circumstances? Therefore, what I've chosen is, I thought to myself that let me try to connect some of these dots. Each of them is a dot, and joining the dot is what is most important. And in order to make the things even more complicated, and there is an epithet before that, and the epithet is the new age part of it. So I was trying to find out that if innovation, IPR, sustainability, each one of them is not complex enough, and you add another adjective to that, then to make it completely incomprehensible, if I may add this also. So therefore, what do you get? So my first advice is, because there are three very important experts, and I'm sure that at the end of the day, the students in particular, and the faculty also, would like to take something away from here with them. So therefore, what are those bulleted points? So that's what I think the conference would attempt to do. I'm not trying to do that. I would only, as I said, share some of my thoughts. What does the industry understand today with the other part? The innovation part comes later. The sustainability part of it. The sustainability part, starting from the definition in the 40s to 50s, and the definition today has gone through actually a tremendous change, a paradigm shift, if you like. And therefore, if you are talking of the sustainability, then the SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals. Out of all the 17 goals that perhaps is a part of your curriculum or you are discussing that, some of the business schools, as I find, or the industries have taken upon themselves a few of the SDGs, the goals, to say that let us try to pursue these goals. There's no harm in telling that out of all the 17, so no hunger and education for all, and then you will talk of life underwater, life above water, the terrestrial life. I consider the last one to be most important, the 17th one. How many of the students present here would tell me what is the 17th one? The 17th one primarily talks of the teamwork. The 17th one actually primarily talks of the teamwork because no single country, no single individual, no single institution, if you like, can actually address all the aspects of each of these SDGs. So therefore, the problem today, if you want to talk of one of the countries or one of the provinces, which is not considered a very developed province even within India, namely Odisha. Even here, there are more than 600 NGOs which are operating. And this number actually went through the sky after the super cyclone. People thought it's a very nice area to study. Now, this is the unfortunate part. You go to the zoo in order to look at or see the animals, and people actually would come to Odisha to find out how super cyclone has devastated the country and how are the people surviving after that. So therefore, what happens over here, the risk is that if you have so many of these NGOs, how are they working? Is there teamwork amongst them? The answer is obviously no. Obviously. I have spoken to a large number of NGOs who are operating, including Mr. Jagadanand. Many of you know him, CSYD chief. I mentioned his name particularly because he and me, we share a few thoughts together. So here is an organization or NGO who works with several NGOs within the country and outside and so on and so forth. But when it comes to the teamwork in the industrial arena, right now, not right now, for the past several years, I've moved out of the academia, the so-called pure academia. But I do find that when it comes to industrial growth, there is nothing called academia and the industry. Transformations are taking place. One of the departments which I used to admire and introduce of my liking was Indian Institute of Science, Bangalore. And we used to have this metallurgy department there, which is where I was selected. I didn't join, is another matter. But the signboard there used to say Department of Metallurgical Engineering. I'm talking 70s when I was selected. And then a few years on, and then it said Department of Metallurgical and Materials Engineering. I said that's also fair enough. Because in Kharagpur also we are doing a number of other materials apart from metallurgical engineering. But came another 5 years when I used to go to the same department, it said Department of Materials and Metallurgical Engineering. And then finally, after another 5 years or 6 years, it said Department of Materials Engineering. Ladies and gentlemen, what I'm trying to demonstrate to you is this is what actually exemplifies and epitomizes the changes that are taking place around us. From metallurgical to materials is only a small thing. You will think the words juxtaposition of the words, but it means a lot. Another interesting example in front of me, some of you who have been following. Jane Tata, Jamshedji Nusarwanji Tata, the one who actually ushered in a revolution in industry in this country, the founder of the Tatas. And it is a common story, many of you would be knowing that how Tata and Swami Vivekananda, they actually traveled together on a ship called Empress, and from Japan to Canada together. During that time, they came together. How can the sannyasi come together with an industrialist is another interesting story. I'm not going into that because Ramakrishna Mission is one of the areas in which I'm deeply associated formally in Jamshedpur. But what happened was this sannyasi was supposed to go in third class or second class, whatever, and the industrialist is supposed to be on the deck. But the sponsor of the sannyasi from Madhya Pradesh, he said, no, you are going as my representative, Swamiji, so therefore I will upgrade you. That is how he was upgraded to the deck. But that changed the entire country. I'll tell you why. So upgradation of the ticket, the ship ticket, changes the fate of a country is exemplified by this. Because the two came together. They didn't know each other. One is a sannyasi and the other one is an industrialist. What was he going to Chicago for? He was going in pursuit of new technology. The Tatas were into opium industry and they were also into the textile industry in Nagpur. So they were looking for new industries. And here is the Swami who is going to attend the Parliament of Religions. So what can you expect the two to have in common? Practically nothing. But the Swamiji suddenly asks him, why don't you get into the education of the country, education system of the country? Now it is common knowledge that as a result of that, he said that you set up an institute. As a result of that, the Indian Institute of Science Bangalore came into being. The Tata Institute of Fundamental Research came into being. So all that happened. But when Indian Institute of Science was about to come up, then Nishwanji Tata, Jain Tata writes a letter to Swamiji and requesting him that you take over the directorship. So the first Indian director, incidentally, who is the first Indian director of Indian Institute of Bangalore, is Sir Z.V. Raman himself. I don't think I can imagine Swami Vivekananda as the director of that institute, because anyway, it's now known that the institute was actually headed by mostly the British and subsequently this. But what happened was, so therefore there are small tracks to destiny, as it were, and that can change things. So Indian Institute of Science Bangalore came and the other things came, and therefore that was a landmark. So when you talk of industry today, incidentally, if I am speaking about Jain Tata, who set up the Tata group of industries and for whom the steel business came to India, he never set his foot in Jamshedpur. He could never, because he passed away in the month of April in 1904. So he didn't come. But his two sons, Durarji Tata and Ratanji Tata, they were actually building the city, and they were informing their father that this is what is happening. Once again, there is a connection with Odisha, as a matter of fact, because P.N. Bose, India's most distinguished geologist, was working with the Geological Survey of India. How he brings the Tatas to Jamshedpur, so I'm not getting into that. That's another area of fascination. But what is interesting is that when the Tatas came here, and Durarji Tata and Ratanji Tata, they were building the city. Their father writes to them, build up good roads, build up good schools, build up good hospitals, essentially set up temples and places of worship for all religions. This is what the father is writing to the son, and etc. etc. Therefore, the slogan for the Tata Steel for many, many years, until Ratan Tata changed when I was there, actually, that happened. Until that change took place, because that, in a way, captures the spirit of your seminar, which is why I want to say this, because I'm trying to develop the word new ways. So what was the slogan? The slogan of the Tata Steel used to be for many years. So many of you would have seen this. We build good roads, we build good schools, and we build good hospitals. Hospital was not there, schools, roads, etc., and a few dots. And thereafter, we also make steel. So we also make steel, but after doing this, dot, dot, dot. That means we work for the society. We work for the society. And so it should be sustainable societically, from the perspective of the society. This was ingrained in that slogan. From that, the changeover was we make steel. From all that dot dot dot, we make steel to we make steel. You'll say, so what? It doesn't make much of a difference. It does. In the spirit, it does, because from the fact that you make many things and then you make steel to the fact that we make steel, there's nothing defensive about it. We are not apologetic about making steel. We are not shameful that we're making steel. We make steel. It's a pride thing. We are proud of our thing. This is the difference. But it is true that when they started in 1907, the industry in Jamshedpur, from ice to nail to everything, that used to be made by Tata Steel. And the consultant who came from US, he writes his beautiful memoir, how he was going on the bullock cart, because etc. etc. So I get diverted to that. It is so fascinating. I will stop there. So therefore, stopping on that part, that from we make steel to we make good roads, schools, etc. to we also make steel. From that to we make steel is a lot of difference. Now, but the spirit should be there. The spirit was that we will work for the society. So therefore, today when you talk of sustainability, it is not merely the original definition of sustainability that you industrialize yourself but leave a part for the progenies to enjoy. Yeah, that's what the textbook stuff. That's not the definition today. Over the past 10 years, the sustainability part in the industry, as we all know, it has become a buzzword today. What is that? ESG. You go anywhere, they'll talk about ESG. They'll talk about Industry 4.0 without knowing what it is, and they will also talk about ESG without knowing what it is. The E stands for the environment, the society, and the governance. But how do these three circles actually overlap so that the sustainability is there? What does it mean actually in simple terms for the students? If you ask today the steel company which is making steel, do you know how much of steel we make in India? 140.8 million tons is what we made last year. How much does the world produce? About 1900 million tons. How much does China produce, by the way? It's about 1100 million tons. So that means China produces 10 times what we produce. We are number two in the world. We are number two in the world. We are very proud that we are number two in the world. But remember, China is nearly 10 times. But each of the steel ton that you produce, you are also connected with about 2.2 tons of carbon dioxide. Imagine that. Astronomical figure. Can the world, can the earth sustain it? Problem, you can't do that. So what is the alternative? So I will only concentrate on that. We have held about 2 or 3 international conferences in Bhubaneswar, in Jamshedpur and elsewhere, also in the recent past, about what are the alternatives. So I'll spend a few minutes only on that, because steel is the backbone of the industry. Incidentally, Rourkela, we started the LD steel making in Asia for the first time. I think this is resonating. I should be at a distance. No, that's okay. That's okay. I'll keep the safe distance, which is what is the nature of things today. You have to keep a safe distance always, symbolically, metaphorically, as well as physically. So I was trying to tell you that the steel part. So when they started making, thank you. When they started making the steel in 1907, there is a bridge over in Calcutta, which is the Howrah Bridge. How many of you have seen Howrah Bridge? Raise your hands. Practically the whole house. Okay. How many of you have seen the new Howrah Bridge? You may not know that is a new, because you are all new. Because there is new age here, and all our students here are the new age students and the new bridge. But there are 2 bridges. One is the old bridge and the new bridge. The new bridge connects the southern part of Calcutta with the Bengal Engineering College, which you used to call the Sipur area. The new bridge is interesting because one side of that, from the Sipur side, has been provided by Tata Steel, and the other side has been provided by Steel Authority of India Limited. That is how they have covered this. So the specifications have been made naturally by the government. It's very important that you would make both ends meet if you know how to specify it. So what happened over here was that if you want to make steel and at the same time the carbon dioxide has to be taken out, then what is the way out? You will say I have to take the carbon out. As a metallurgist, Professor Mishra and me, we know, and I'm very happy. I should have mentioned that Professor Mishra, Dr. Pawan Kumar, and Professor Pati, we have quite a few things in common, as I have found out even before the meeting, and which is why I feel very comfortable also. Because it's a common problem, and the problem that we are discussing, it is not about whether the chemist turned innovator, top class Pawan Kumar looks at the sustainability, Professor Mishra turned metallurgist, or metallurgy turned into management, or Professor Pati mechanical engineering engineer turned into management, it doesn't matter because we are all co-sufferers on the planet called Earth. Just as we manufacture, when my biodata was being read out, for the past 14 years we have been manufacturing automotive components for cars, for trucks, for earth movers, and now for electric vehicles also. And my area of work is a design about new materials like composite materials, not about steel or aluminum alone, etc., etc. That's not important. Important is when you manufacture a component and you say, I'm a metallurgist, I have a role there. The component, like a propeller shaft or an axle or a gear or a gearbox, whatever we manufacture, it doesn't say or it doesn't think that a metallurgist has designed me or a mechanical engineer has designed me. It has to function in the manner in which it has been designed. That is the most important thing. So similarly, the planet Earth has to move on. If it has to move on, it doesn't matter whether I'm a metallurgist or a teacher or not teacher. We all have to contribute to the well-being of the planet. This is what I'm talking about. So in that process, steel is quite important. We have to have steel. But if I simply say that you switch off carbon, what is the role of carbon? The carbon will take away the oxygen from the iron oxide. There is iron oxide which you take it out from the mines or the ores. And that also not pure iron oxide. With iron oxide, manganese oxide, aluminum oxide, magnesium oxide, and quite a few oxides. So you have to take out all those materials out, and even the iron oxide, the oxygen has to be taken out. So we add a reductant which you call carbon. And that reductant is stronger oxidizer than iron. That is how it pulls out the oxygen. But it's not as simple. Apart from the fact that it pulls out oxygen, it also adds heat. It also adds heat. And that heat is quite important. So we have to have a substitute material which will also do both the functions. So the world today has not thought of a complete substitution. We have come to some kind of substitution in the past 5 years. And we have also come to a part substitution. That means if I can capture the carbon which is going out as carbon dioxide or carbon monoxide, so we call it carbon capture, CC. But there is another S after that. And that part is very important and very difficult, which is sequestration. Because I will take the carbon dioxide and sequestrate it somewhere, either under the sea, under the mine, somewhere. I must know where I'm sequestrating it. So that's one way of doing business with as it is, but I have to capture it. I have to have some kind of capturing contraption. So which is why the Swedes, they put the first one in the blast furnace to capture that. But today we are thinking of hydrogen. The whole world is thinking of hydrogen. But what kind of hydrogen? How many of you know the hydrogen collar? Do you know what is the color of hydrogen? And in the context of the industry, let me tell you a few colors of hydrogen. The first one is the green hydrogen. This is the era of green, so therefore it's all green hydrogen. That means if I go to Bhubaneswar market and purchase a cylinder of hydrogen, is that green hydrogen or it's not? You start thinking, is it green? It doesn't look green. Is it green hydrogen? It is not green hydrogen. Because in its process of manufacturing, it has left behind a carbon footprint. So it's not green. So if in order that it becomes green, it cannot leave behind a carbon footprint. And what is that? I have to split water. Which is why at least 2 steel plants in the world, namely SSAB in Sweden and POSCO in Korea, they have 2 big bottles as symbols of their getting into the green new age steel making. Why? Because if I use hydrogen and if I have iron oxide and the hydrogen takes the oxygen, then the hydrogen plus oxygen becomes water. And the balance is only iron. That's very simple. So I put the hydrogen, take the water out, and the oxygen out, and it will produce only water. So there is no other effluent. If I use hydrogen, there is no other effluent. Looks very simple. And that is what is the green hydrogen all about. I have to produce hydrogen without carbon footprint. But that's not the only route, incidentally. But how do I split water? To split water, I need electricity. How do I produce electricity? If I go to the thermal means, once again I leave behind the carbon footprint. I go for the solar panel, people will say. I go for the wind. I go for something else, like fuel cells, where hydrogen oxygen are used. In each one of them, we never do the life cycle analysis. That's very important. If you do the life cycle analysis, you find what kind of carbon footprint they also live. The question is, we set up now in Odisha, let us say, green industries, all green, laptop industry, solar panel industry, we are all green. Do not forget, a laptop here which we use or manufacture can leave behind huge amount of carbon footprint elsewhere. So that's the kind of thing which you have to deal with. Now, can India afford to do the new thing? So we did calculations. All the Tata Steel, Jindal Steel, and the ArcelorMittal, the new steel company, which is a joint venture of the Nippon and Arcelor, they have all done these calculations that I'm talking about. And roughly, thumb rule currently is the green hydrogen will cost about 4x, where x is the cost of steel. How can you use an element which itself is 4 times costlier than the product to be used as a reductant in producing the product? Absurd, absolutely. Ridiculous. So therefore, you have to think of completely new processes. But if you insist on hydrogen as the green hydrogen, and you say, well, unless you use green hydrogen, you cannot produce steel, India will have to close down all its shops. That's very important. So therefore, the green color is out in terms of the thermal economics, techno-economics. The next one is the blue hydrogen. The blue hydrogen is the one where you capture the carbon dioxide. You capture the carbon dioxide, sequester it, and in the process, you are actually there is a process of producing hydrogen. The producing hydrogen steam with coal, let us say. You pass steam over coal, you produce hydrogen. But the balanced carbon dioxide, whatever is produced, if you want to capture it, and this hydrogen will be the blue hydrogen. That's not the end of the collar. The nuclear physicists would have us believe that India is actually in for nuclear energy. I had a very, very close friend, Dr. Srikumar Banerjee. Srikumar was once upon a time the chairman of the Atomic Energy Commission and passed away during the COVID time, sadly. But he was going across the country, and he's the one who also went to US, inked the Indo-US nuclear treaty, etc., etc. That's not important. Important is that the nuclear energy is quite important. Nuclear energy can be used for splitting water. But if you do that and produce hydrogen, then that hydrogen will be called pink hydrogen, almost your color. So the pink hydrogen is when you use the, I'm only giving one example. So if I have to produce any one of these hydrogen and the cost of that, then only I can say that I have arrived at the E plus S and G. Now, unless you have that, you can't do that. Let's look at a few other things. I want to tell you because I'm the field of generally from the field of materials. You have heard about the rare earth materials, where Dr. Pawan Kumar's laboratory, IMMT, is also working. Quite a few institutes like Bangalore is working. Rare earths. The rare earths are not rare. Their production is quite rare, and the individual rare earths you can't produce easily. So that's why they are rare. Who are the controllers of the rare earths in the world? China. China produces more than 90% of the rare earths. We produce 4 million tons of aluminum in India. China produces 32 million tons of aluminum. We do not even produce maybe a few kilograms of rare earth with great difficulty. They produce several kgs. So they control, therefore, the entire rare. Where is rare earth used? The laptop which you have, the cell phone which you have, everything has a lot of rare earth in that because you can't see the screen otherwise. The color of the screen and so on, they're all rare earth. So which is why Government of India now has a big program of rare earth. To conclude the story of hydrogen, the Larsen and Toubro has started producing in Hazira on the west coast of India, in near Surat, where the Hazira steel plant of Jindal's are there, ArcelorMittal is there, which used to be SR Steel Plant previously. Now it is ArcelorMittal, they've taken over. So near Hazira, Larsen and Toubro have started producing hydrogen commercially in India in two different processes from the water, but quite costly, unaffordable today. So therefore, when you talk of sustainability, the sustainability is industry plus the sustainable production of whatever. So that's about one part. And the what is there also to me is the innovation part. And in an industry, average industry in India, where does innovation start? So that's what I will do, and then I'll finish up in the next few minutes. We don't understand much of innovation in industry, or we never used to understand. If you go today to some of the steel plants in India itself, I'm not talking of just the outside steel plants, or aluminum plants, or even other metallic plants or non-metal plants. They're all top class, they have top class R&D also. Because otherwise you can't produce things, neither the product nor the process. So therefore, there are problems of, there used to be problems of the manufacturing, but we are getting into it. But 80% of India's industry, if we do not understand innovation, then we have problems. And we are not talking of big innovations. Now, when you talk of the word innovation and creativity, there should be a distinction between the two. And that distinction one has to understand. With innovation, therefore, whatever is already known, I am trying to use it in new ways. It's very important. It is as important as creating something completely new. So, in the innovation sector, the known knowledge itself is not being used. So, ladies and gentlemen, I started a small movement about 10 years back in a small company which I am associated with now. This company is about 4,000 crore plus. But the fascinating part of this company is that they went from Odisha, settled in Jamshedpur. They started with 15,000 and 20,000. Today they are 4,000 crore plus. All this shows that they have made a movement forward. But when you talk of the innovation part of it, in every sector of the manufacturing, then the people who are engaged come at 10 o'clock, go at 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock in this kind of production, where is the time for innovation? And how do you, so the management gurus are sitting here, which is why I'm trying to tell you, how do you actually inculcate a kind of a culture of innovation, if you like, in such a situation. So I started what is called the KM management. Incidentally, when I joined Tata Steel in 1993, I started a IPR cell. I had told you also, the patent cell. Today it would look absurd because every company has so many. But when I went into the patent situation of Tata Steel, I found in 97 years they had 47 patents. But at least 47 patents, because patents were not given a great priority. And what about Indian culture? If you asked in yesteryears, Satyan Bose, C.V. Raman, and so on and so forth, and you talk to them about the patent, they would say, you go anywhere you like. I am not for this patent or money, because patent means money, and I am a pure scientist. There's nothing called money part. And then came the Nobel situation, and even then you knew that you can do both. That is what Dr. Pawan Kumar would talk about. That you can have your innovation, you can also have your money. But the whole point is, the company that I am now talking about, in Tata Steel, therefore, step by step, we went. By the time I left, we were making about 60 patents a year. Today, Tata Steel makes about 100 patents a year. I will put full stop there, put a full stop and say, so what? Put a question mark. The so what is quite important, because you want to say, you have made those patents. You have these 30 patents, 40 patents, 17 patents, but so what? What have you done to the society? How have you contributed? Then Dr. Pawan Kumar would also talk about IPAMS. So we started looking at it. Intellectual property, asset management systems. The asset management system is not taught also in many of the asset management system, because to maintain, as he would tell you, for 20 years a patent, you would spend about 5 lakhs. Roughly 5 lakhs for a patent for 20 years maintenance. Now, do I get 5 lakhs worth? If I don't get the 5 lakhs worth, then why are you putting that? No, I will put my thing. I am a patent holder. That's why. put my collar up, and that adds to the prestige. That's one way. But that will happen for 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. Then will say, no, that collar up is also not helping me. What helps is when I put some burnt oil into coke making and made an extra strong coke for the blast furnace, then we said, here is a patent, and we sold it in the market for 1.5 crores, and Tata Steel got back 1.5 crores from a patent. I said, yes, that's it. So therefore, each patent will have to be packaged, taken to the market, and then somebody else will be there, a taker will be there, and then the IPR goes there. Good thing is in India today we have the new age word I'm only utilizing today in India. You talk of any of these companies, Swedish company who are manufacturing the tools in India, for example. In Pune, they have technologies developed in India and the back thing has taken place. They have taken it back there. There is a company in Chennai, now I think they are also in Gurgaon in Delhi. Many of you might know the name called Loham. Loham. I don't know if some of you know. Loham, they have come into being over the past 10 years or so. What do? They take junk materials from Kabadiwala or not the Kabadiwala from anywhere else. A junk material is what? You take a UPS, you take some laptops, and you take your cell phone, and they would then extract something. Our Prime Minister tells very nice things. Every day you hear from the radio, आप लोग ये use करते हो, वो use करते हो. I know of this company who can take copper, gold, etc. That's all correct. If there is a gold, I'm not talking of that. I'm going beyond. This company, Loham, takes out the rare earths from there. So they from 1 ton of material, they will actually produce a few grams of the rare earth, which will be worth many lakhs. They would have taken the initial material for 10 rupees or 20 rupees from the Kavadiwala, and then you produce something which 1 gram of that will cost several lakhs. This has happened already. It has started happening. But it actually indicates a totally new innovation which we need to do in order that we set our foot in the industrial map of the world. This is what I wanted to say. So therefore, on the SDG front, all the 17 SDGs are now concluding. You have to connect them with the teamwork, because in India, I don't think we can afford to have many fragmented units we will work together. That's one part. The other thing is the sustainability that we are talking about is not the classic development of today's world and the future world. It's not merely that. If I am talking of industrial operation today, I should also be talking of the society or societal impact and my economics. If I don't survive, how can I operate? So this is very important. So the survival part and the sustainability part will have to be put together. And the other part is we all have to use the new age part. I interpret as a good amount of AI. The artificial intelligence, not to swindle people as it is happening today. It is not about digital arrest. I was so impressed the other day when our Prime Minister recently on one of the Man Ki Baat, he was talking about the digital arrest. Have you known that right in Bhubaneswar, digital arrests have taken place? Digital arrest. You have to be careful about the digital arrest. Many of you, any one of us can fall prey to the digital arrest. So therefore, the digital use in the industry is extremely important. And that is what will tell you about the basic language and also the artificial intelligence, because data. About 1 year back or 2 years back, Arvind Krishna. By the way, I must tell you that you are not aware. The 3 Indians are ruling the 3 most prestigious companies of US. Arvind Krishna, IIT Delhi, is the chairman of IBM. And our own metallurgy student from IIT Kharagpur is Sundar Pichai. And Anjali, his wife, is chemical engineer, but she has a different company. No, but Sundar Pichai is not just the head of the Google, head of the holding company, which is Alphabet. So he's chairman of that. And then, of course, the guy I admire most is Satya Nadella, Microsoft. So here is Mr. Arvind Krishna being interviewed in the CNN, and he said that yesterday I met Joe Biden, the president of the US, and then what transpired between them, he was being interviewed about it, and he said this. He said that the president is concerned about data security. And then he made a few sentences in the beginning by way of a preface, which I liked. And he did say that early on, people used to, their prestige in the society used to be measured in terms of the land which they possess, or the money which they possess, and so on. Today, it is the data. And one additional thing is the data would be there, and you have to do data analysis and be able to draw conclusions from the data. But how do you get this data? Every college you go to, engineering college here in Bangalore and Hyderabad, they will say, we have this, or manufacturing company, they will say, we have industry 4.0. But to do that, you need a lot of data from the machines. The machines don't speak a language. They can give data if you have the transducers. So you have to actually put the engineering of that. That means you have to put sensors there. Where is the sensor coming from? How many sensors are getting manufactured? In my own company, most of my forging machines, casting machine, rolling machine, gearing machine, machining of the gears, we don't have any sensors. You don't have sensors, you don't have data. If you don't have data, you can't do analysis. Then you can't optimize. Whether it is artificial network, genetic algorithm, you can't talk of anything. But you have to have data. And the data must be secure. And the data security is what you people, the computer science students, will have to do. But when I talk of computer science, you go around Bhubaneswar, some of the big universities, you will find that we have 10,000 to 12,000 students in computer science, and there are 60 students in mechanical engineering, or 60 students or 20 students in civil engineering. Do you think with computer science I can make this building? Obviously I cannot. So therefore, the kind of situation that I find today, accepting the government-owned NITs, IITs, and so on and so forth, you don't have a balance. And if you have a skewed situation, we need computer science, we need all those. But the point is that every engineering that you study today, all of them who are sitting here and all the names that I mentioned, they are not computer science always to begin with. Somebody is a mechanical engineer, somebody is a metallurgical engineer, but they have to use computer science. So my last suggestion would be to the students as well as the faculty. Let us develop also this kind of approach that we need to learn from the society about their needs, from the industries also about the needs. How many industries even around Bhubaneswar know how to calculate? I know in Jamshedpur, the industrial estate area, the Adityapur area, for example, is much larger than the Bhubaneswar situation. Same, but this problem is the same. We do not know how to calculate our energy requirement. We do not know how to calculate the carbon footprint also. So therefore, the softwares that we use for the carbon footprints, they must be uniform, and people must use the similar one. Which is why for the steel plants, we said that Michigan University had developed a software called TEAM, the total emission of the carbon dioxide to all other gases. But the equations that you use, they have to be similar. Otherwise, you calculate your own way, I calculate my own way, I will say I am producing very low carbon dioxide or carbon. So that's a very, very important thing today as we see. So summarizing therefore, the innovation, sustainability, all of them are important. The industry also has to go forward, but we must know how to calculate each one of them, how to quantify each one of them, not just qualitatively. And in order to quantify, you need innovative processes. So if you put that together, then I think the title of the whole thing is also making sense. And the end of it, innovation per se has no meaning. Innovation has to connect actually industrial production with the society and with the rest of the world. So therefore, the geopolitical situation which is changing every day almost, how do you quickly kind of change yourself? If there is one Ukraine and USSR, there is one problem there. Another problem in Israel. How do we react? So therefore, we don't know how to do that. Thank you very much. And I think I've far exceeded my time, but I wanted to share some of my thoughts here. Thank you very much for giving your ear.
Well, it was wonderful listening to the chief guest of the day. Sir, it was so engaging and so exceptionally helpful when you say that by aligning technological advancement with ethical and environmental priorities, we can drive equitable progress and ensure a sustainable future that benefit both the people and the planet. So with this, we approach towards the end of the inaugural ceremony. It's time to felicitate and acknowledge our chief guest, for which may I request Principal Sir Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Das to come forward and felicitate a token of love to the chief guest of the day, Professor Dr. Omkar Nath Maurya. So with this warm and affectionate felicitation, we have set the right tone when Mr. Mohanty has done his exceptional work as a chief guest. Thank you so much, sir, for sparing your invaluable time and being there for the inaugural ceremony of the national seminar. So before we conclude the inaugural ceremony, may I invite Dr. Devasis Das, the convener of the seminar, to propose a vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Uh, Thank you, Dr. Mahapatra, for giving me this opportunity. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, of the chairs and on the desk as well. Sir, I would like to say I'm speechless. Thank you, sir, for your information and learning we have got today. I don't think we would have got such an information and learning in such a short while as we got today. Thank you for blessing us with this occasion, blessing this occasion. Uh, Secondly, I would like to thank our esteemed director, sir, Mr. Sumikat Varmanthrai, in absentia, of course, who has been the man instrumental for over 17 years, from being USVM from nowhere to at least this stage. And we promise that we will be carrying it forward in the days to come. I would also like to thank Professor Dr. K.C. Spicer, in absentia, Academic Advisor, USVM, for his time and motivation to all of us. Now, I would like to thank Dr. Professor Sanjeev Kumar Das, sir, Principal USD, who has been behind us for all these days to make this event happen. Thank you, sir. And I would also like to thank Professor Dr. Malrojan Ratha, sir, Director IQSC. You helped us to maintain the quality, sir. Thank you so much. And esteemed speakers of the day, uh, from various institutes of repute, I welcome you. We will not provide you a thank you right now because we are waiting eagerly for your second session. So we will be there with you in the second session. Welcome, sir. So welcome, madam. Participants and research scholars who have been here from various reputed institutions and colleges, thank you for joining us and hope you enjoy the day with us. Students, thank you so much for your patience, for your participation. Hope you have learned a lot. And this participation and such participations would definitely increase your knowledge base. And last but not the least, I would like to thank all members of USBM family who have put their efforts in their own ways uh, to the max for making this event a success. And hereby, I call the opening session of the day closed. And we'll have a short break of 10 minutes for tea as well. We'll join in the second session in 10 minutes break. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you all.
All the esteemed faculties. To take you through her rich profile. Dr. Pati is an accomplished industrial designer and academician who is currently the academic dean and professor, School of Sustainability, XIM University, Bhubaneswar. She completed her PhD and Masters in Sustainable Design from IIT Delhi and Mechanical Engineering from USSUT Bulla. She has worked in the automotive industry as a designer in the Research and Design Center of Tata Motors, Pune, and Maruti Suzuki India Limited, Gurgaon. Professor Sutappa has also worked in the sector of microfinance and livelihood generation for rural poor Rajasthan for professional assistance for development action. Adding to her credibility, she was involved in conceptualization phase of setting up the Mahatma Gandhi Institute of Rural Industrialization. She has been recognized for her contribution in Mission Shakti as a lead trainer for the women's self-help group members. So with this long list of achievement, may I request our keynote speaker, Professor Dr. Sutapa Pati, to discourse on this topic. Please, ma'am. Okay, so that's the main part. Let us welcome, ladies and applause, all our three keynote speakers to be felicitated by our students. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Looking at the positive time, we all have decided to keep it very short. I'm really very happy today and also happy that I could meet sir and both of you. Pawan sir, we just signed an MOU. So as ma'am mentioned, I'm from School of Sustainability at Exide University. The topic, I really liked what Mahanti sir started. He said that there are 17 goals in SDG. Someone who was visiting our school, who was participating in the UN during the SDG adoption in 2015, September 25th, he said that for 2 years, when committees had deliberated, they had come up with 16 goals. So 6 social goals, 6 economic goals, and 6 environmental goals. The day before, the Secretary General said, how do you achieve these without partnering and collaboration? And at that time, the 17th goal was added. And I so appreciate when he was saying that partnership is everything. And I'm so happy that, we recently, I think day before yesterday, we signed an MOU with the IMFD. And many schools and colleges, we are coming together for sustainability as a movement. I have brought a small PPT. Uh, the next one. Right. Yes. So, sir, please request you to roll in fast. I am not able to see much, but I know what I am going to speak. If you look at the figure at the top, the topic I thought was sustainable innovation. Where are the inspirations today? I get invited in committees nationally. Though I am a mechanical engineering by training, most of the work that we are doing everywhere, what I see today, whether I visit Kashmir or Shillong, I keep telling my students also, I see aggression in science and engineering. There is JCB everywhere, hills are being taken off. So when you talk of sustainable innovation, what are we talking about and where is the inspiration? Sir is going to speak extensively on IPR. The biggest IPR holder of the world is the creator of Mother Earth, and it's free. So today I have brought some inspirations from nature and culture. So the two sources of sustainable innovation. If you look at the image here, this is a photograph. Thank you so much, ma'am. Is it on? Yes. So the photograph is from a 1,000-year-old temple from Japan. This is called as the Raunji temple. Today, especially for management and technical institution, we follow the left side, which is the techno-managerial. So we are discussing science, we are discussing technology. So understanding Mother Earth is more from the techno-managerial perspective, where the balancing is required by adding in from the socio-cultural perspective also. So this is what the thought I'm going to present today. What is written in this temple today? If you visit there, Ramji Temple, Wadatare Taruo Shiru in Japanese. What it means is, I know what just enough is. So the whole concept of design, therefore, rather than being aggressive, needs to be just enough in design. I very popularly, every class, I ask my students, do you love Golgappa, Puchka? Yes, we do. I said, how much do you eat? They say, about 20 rupees. I said, so six? They say, yes. I say, you take 1 minute to finish that? They say, yes. I said, how much is the weight of one Golgappa? It is 10 grams. So, for 10 grams, 2 minutes, what are we eating in? We eat, how many designs are possible in which you eat? You have patra, which my childhood we used to have. We have dona, then we have steel plate, then we have styrofoam, then we have plastic plate. So just for 2 minutes, weighing few grams, we use materials which are for 100 years is going to remain. It's not justified, right? So if just the Potro could have done, why do we use styrofoam? So that's the small and everyday understanding of what just enough design is, what soft engineering is. Uh, this is the temple. God willing, all of us will visit it one day. So Ramji Temple is a message. So when we study ancestral Japanese carpentry, which is one of the best in world, for hundreds of years, there is something called as Edo period in Japan. Edo period in Japan was the craftsmanship and the living around Tokyo in a certain century. They practice sustainable design and just enough design. So again, one book I will ask each one of you to buy, and in your library especially, Silent Spring by Rachel Carson. Rachel Carson wanted to be a English author, became a biologist. So this book is very thin book. She wrote in 1960s, and this changed the whole movement of sustainability and environment. What she did, she went and studied all species, water, earth, and her findings were two examples from the book I have taken. Can you see this? This is an antelope and a small hen, and all of us, we know oregano. So similar to oregano, there is sage that we put. So the plant that you can see is sage, a small herb. She took it as example that in difficult terrain in America, these three were coexisting. So the antelope would eat the top of the grass and remove the cold climate. The grouse would, keep the soil ready for the grass to come up. All three of them coexisted. And then what happened? Americans wanted to create huge, big prairies, type grasslands. This was the ecosystem balance that she spoke of. They started a program called as sage eradication. This sage is an invasive species. Let us delete it, and we will grow grasses for our livestock, for the fodder. So what do you think happened? Because it was difficult terrain, they could not grow the grasses, and they also lost the sage, and they also lost the antelopes, and they also lost the small grouses, which were rare species. So the whole ecosystem had collapsed in that phase. Similar example quickly I will show is earlier ships would go. So this is called as the Japanese beetle. So along with some plants, some beetles went to US, and they started eating up their crops. This was huge pest infection that happened in. So the eastern districts of US, what they did the natural control method to control and the western districts went for, all of us in our childhood, I didn't know it was so dangerous, DDT. Those who had gardens would remember, there was DDT and Angrin. So finished World War II in 1945. There was biochemicals for warfare, plants were set up. Now war is finished, what do? So you use those chemicals to make all pesticides and other. So the western districts, the Japanese beetles came back aggressively after a short time, while eastern districts took slow but silent eradication of Japanese beetles. These are the two, concepts that she presented as far as system thinking and how. Another book which I would read is the Janet Panya's Biomimicry. That what do you learn from nature? Nature has beautiful designs in place. And if you look at basic questions that we need to ask is same things what we are building in designs. So how does nature build? How does nature process? So whatever nature does, if we learn the principles of it and make our industries and products in in line with that. That's the one. So if waterproofing is done, how does nature waterproof? What is that cell structure? If heating and cooling of structure is there, again, how does nature cool it? Designs and principles are there. We earlier there was experts and societal heads who would understand them, use them in their designs. There is some gap that has happened, so which we need to bring back as far as sustainable design principles are concerned. Some of the examples where industry has actually worked. The Velcro and the stick-ons, all designs, post-its, they were designed taken from the gecko feet. I don't know whether someone from Maharashtra would know. There's a lizard which is called as gorpad. It sticks on with its pad. So scientists studied how the cell structure was that it stuck and it came back. So industry designed that. This is the egg skin which was created special. Whatever in building we use materials, they have something called as volatile organic compounds which come out and make. Suppose you paint something or adhesives, all of our engineered boards are made of layers of films of small sheets and laid with glue. This glue has formaldehyde and other chemicals in them which produce VOCs, which are again very harmful. So same thing is done by nature. You see mollusks, they keep sticking on under the sea. So what is that chemical, science behind that? If nature can solve that problem, we also can better solve the problem is the understanding that we have. Similarly, some of the, today in green building, there is something called as antibacterial switches. In hospitals, all of us touch switches and go, and door handles. So today, surfaces which are antibacterial, so that, after COVID, it has become a big, so nature has antibacterial properties in it, in designs. And all of us have seen, this is called hydrophobic, means water does not seek on. So there is something to do with the surface and something to do with the structure that it is making it hydrophobic. So how do you create structures, which is learning from? Similar to that, maintaining hot and cold. And, these are some last example. Today, any one of you wanting to go, please buy a piece of jarbera, anything of the sunflower genus. Look at the number of petals. I would have brought it if possible, but you will see there are huge number of petals like this, all converging in a, when you turn, small center in between. Once you peel out all the petals, you will be surprised. So many was in hardly 10, mm or 15 mm. Now that means each petal had a hole to stick itself. When then what you do after removing the complete, take a photograph in your mobile and zoom it. That these holes you will see make a pattern. That pattern is called as in maths. In school we have studied Fibonacci series, format circle. Now there is a science behind this. Look at this pattern. You will see very similar pattern in the photo that you take. Now this pattern is mathematically the most space optimized pattern, means so many petals could get optimizedly packaged in that, and each petal, each dot is not in shadow of the front. What does that mean? That each petal will get sun rays and in least possible space. So space optimization, this example was taken by MIT and they went and packaged solar panels accordingly. Because biggest problem in renewable energy today, whether wind or solar, is land acquisition, right? So these are some of the examples I want to leave you with. That nature and culture. First example was culture. Indian subcontinent, I'll not say only India, have long history of sustainable innovation practices. So it is just we need to create a, understand better, create new principles and new understanding. And I am talking of hardcore industrial applications, and that is the way forward. And I'll leave the message of soft engineering. And let us go slow and not be aggressive. Last example is, if you haven't visited Kashmir, please visit. And the whole Himalayas. Himalayas are rocks which are very unstable. These are young mountains, not like Western Ghats. So Western Ghats, if you move from Mumbai to Pune, there are a lot of tunnels that you will cross. but the rock quality is different. We blasted and created tunnels, it was okay. When we went and used the same machine, same technology in Himalayan, the whole landslide started sliding. Is it okay? Because the nature of the soil property is not the same as Western Ghats. We cannot use. So there's small understandings where we understand the rhythm of nature and the regenerative power of nature, if we could appreciate and go and be more little softer, the managers and the technocrats. That is the way forward. Thank you so much. I'm leaving for you this message. And I welcome all of you to Exam University. We are having a summit January 23rd. So, ma'am, sir, please bring your students so that they can come there. And yeah, thank you so much. And God bless you all.
Any questions from the audience side? We can, ma'am, would be leading us shortly. So, any questions can be asked.
As you describe sustainability development goal in beautiful manner. Give example, I have a doubt. What is the role of sustainability in the management?
Sustainability, sir said, that it is intragenerational. Earlier understanding was intragenerational. Today we are in a very complex and chaotic world. There's a word we use management where I think you all also must have heard, which is called as VUCA. VUCA, right? So for better decision making and for future proofing, so some words I will leave with you. One is risk. So managers, all of you, decision making and risk. So for risk proofing, best understood is sustainability is required. Second is the concept of stakeholder. If you look at earlier time when my father worked in sale, so most of the decision whether Tata Steel or not would be for the employees, and a little we had a concept called as peripheral development, right? Then Dhirubhai Ambani, the Reliance example was the shareholder understanding, right? You started giving also importance to the shareholder. After some of the reporting standards came in 1999 to 2000, we started using the word stakeholder. And simple three-word definition would be anybody who is impacted, anybody who influences your objectives, and anybody who is interested. Today, we are working in the era of extended stakeholder concept. So your boundary is much beyond because please study scope 1, scope 2 and scope 3. Scope 3 is you are talking about customers use, like if you're a washing powder making company, your customer is using that washing powder in the washing machine, the carbon footprint that happens is accounted on you. Your employees are traveling business somewhere, that footprint is also accounted to you. So extended stakeholder. Apart from the generational concept and remaining within the 1.5, 1.6 degree, So the nature works in cycles. You have carbon cycle, nitrogen cycle. The earth itself is in balance in a cycle. When you break those cycles, we will collapse. So much of extreme weather. I think Odisha understands best. And we got a lot hot. Are you aware that 4 of our cities were hottest this year in India?
Delhi.
So there is something called as heat island effect. Whole of Ankul. You go to Badville, I always tell it is a garage town because 2,200 dumpers at the peak per day moved. What? And the tracks are red, the wells are red. I don't know. The leaves are red. How are we surviving? Look at Delhi, look at Bangalore. We haven't even solved our garbage problem. So, basic level things start becoming very difficult. So, as managers, it is our responsibility. Today, either you are going to support government or you will be in consulting or industry. Sustainability has to be brought in at the core. So, linear to circular.
Should we focus on future generation or present generation?
सर बहुत सही बोले कि अब तक तो हम फ्यूचर की बोल रहे थे अभी तो मतलब we'll be not even capable of thinking about our generation, future generation, nothing. We are in urgency today. अभी और वो I didn't think of it like that. What sir said was so correct कि अभी वो definition तो भूल जाओ. Yeah, I'm so really worried that if my daughter grows up, if she wants to settle somewhere in India, which city do I imagine that she settles? She is class 6. I can't even think on her. Future generation to chhod dijiye. And there's so many cancers. I'm surprised. You know, someone very close is suffering. I wrote to my friends. My friend wrote back in WhatsApp that my parents, my two mausi and one pusi. If you need any information, let me know. So scary. Because of all that toxic bioaccumulation, which Rachel Carson wrote in 1960s. This is what is going to happen. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
So I would thank Dr. Pati from the core of my heart for being with us. Ma'am, thank you so much for this insightful discourse on this topic. Ma'am will be leading us, sadly. So I would request Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Das, the principal of the institute, to felicitate ma'am with a token of love. So let's put a huge round of applause for our keynote speaker for the national seminar. Ma'am, it was wonderful having you with us. Thank you so much for sparing your invaluable time with us. So after bidding farewell to our first keynote speaker, it's time to throw more light on this topic, and we are fortunate enough to have with us our keynote speaker in the form of Dr. T. Pavan Kumar. Let me quickly take you through his profile. He's a senior scientist, chemistry and IPR, strategy planning and business development, coordinator intellectual property and convener business development, convener and manager innovation technology enabling center, faculty chemical science, academy of scientific and industrial research, CSIR Institute of Mineral and Material Technology, that is IMMT. Sir has completed his MSc and PhD in Osmania University. Sir has a lot of awards to his credit, like member Global Intellectual Property Convention 2018, WIPO IP Patent Scholarship 2016, SERP Young Scientist 2015. He has developed almost 11 projects, 13 technology. He has 43 patents to his credit, and all the licensed patents also belongs to US. He has more than 23 publications. So with this, let me request T. Pavan Kumar to take over the session. Please, sir.
So thank you very much. I'm very happy to be here. I really appreciate the efforts taken by United School of Business Management in conducting these kind of programs. And I promise Subhashmita that I will definitely be here for today. For me, it appears to be like a management day for me because morning I had a session at IIM Sambalpur, 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock, where I was supposed to go there physically. But since I promised you, I told them I will only make online. For one session, traveling for such a long distance would be very difficult. So I think the connectivity is very apt here. It started with sustainability. Maybe now I'll be talking on IPR. The sir would be talking on innovation aspects, right? He'll not say anything. Sometimes it opens up more thinking and creativity, right? The space. So here I'll be talking to you on innovation and IPR. So first let me ask you, how many of you are aware of what is called IP, intellectual property? Did you hear only the term, or do you also know something about that, about IP? Something you know, a bit of. Good, appreciate. And until I finished my PhD, I was not knowing anything about what is IP. But I'm a great researcher. I have publications. I qualified CSR in top 20, top 2%, everything. Huh? Acha, yeah, oh, very good. So then I had to work in an IP company. And the owner of the IP company was BSc chemistry person. I was PhD with all first ranks in my career. And I had to work with him. I was thinking, what is this? I'm a PhD person, a BSc company. Later on, I realized in that company, 150 people were there, more than 120 people are BTech or MTech from IITs, and all the science people are PhDs from reputed institutes. And BSc chemistry person is the owner. Then I understood something different is there in this field, I should pursue it parallelly. So I made it as a parallel career. But now it has become like a mainstream activity. So here in my session, I think I have to go here. And Mohanty sir was mentioning about Professor Jagdish Chandra Bose and also C.V. Raman. I'll ask you one thing. Who is the inventor of radio? Who is the inventor of radio? You are wrong. Inventor of radio is Professor Jagdish Chandra Bose. This is true. But if you write this, you will fail the exam. If you write Marconi, you will pass and you will get the rank. That is the unfortunate part of our activities. It is J.C. Bose who has come with radio concept for the first time in the world. Many of his friends, well-wishers, suggested him to take an IP. He told, "Nahin, nahin, we are Indians are very kind, na? That is how whichever king came to it, lelo, lelo. We are very big in heart." He also made the same way. After few years, Marconi met J.C. Bose in one of the European conferences where they could share the thoughts. And it is not that Marconi has copied the works from J.C. Bose. No, he was working on parallelly. Then he could take an IP. And that is where the entire credit has gone to him. Whether you believe me or not, today whatever advancements we are seeing in communication sector, the basic work is by J.C. Bose. If he had taken a patent, if he had taken it properly, by now India would have been almost all at the verge of a developed nation. Because that single invention has got that impact. And secondly, sir was also mentioning on C.V. Raman. Who is C.V. Raman? He is the only Indian scientist by working in India who got a Nobel Prize. And he was not a scientist at all, first of all. He got Nobel Prize, but not a scientist. He was a part-time researcher where he was conducting research at IACS Kolkata out of his passion. Otherwise, he was a British government servant at Control and Auditor General Office. Morning 9:45 to or morning 10 o'clock to 5:30 is his office time. Just imagine under the British government how the office working culture would be. So before 10 and after 6, he used to do some research. Out of that part-time research, he could generate Nobel Prize. But now we are full-time researchers, all facilities are there, but unfortunately we are not finding. And then how it is relevant to IP? C.V. Raman got Nobel Prize for the Raman effect, but today there are about 25 different varieties of Raman spectra available in the world. Not even a single spectra instrument is made in India. Science was ours, but technology is not ours. Technology was built by Western people. We take the technology from there because they built the technology, they had the IP. So that is where learning all the aspects of innovation and IPR is very, very important. Fast. Here at our place, it is the bottom line. So here I will be covering quickly on what is called IP, different types of IPRs, and in what way they will impact our lives. These are the places from where I got my education, training, and working experience, both in terms of chemistry, IPR, from several places, and here is the outcome. As I told you, until 2013-14, we were not having any patents like any other researchers who used to do research. After realizing the impact of IP, we thought we should integrate our IP learnings or patent learnings with our research. Meanwhile, we could file more than 43 patent applications, out of which 30 patents are already granted, maybe covering about 8 to 10 countries, say about China, US, Japan, and Canada, several European countries, including South Africa, also Australia also, and very luckily, 4 of our initial patents got licensed to Sun Pharma. We could license them, we could receive 5 crores royalty. And while we were practicing patents, our intention was not to receive royalty, not to receive money. Our intention was only if I get some patents, whenever I send my profile, if someone sees it, oh, Pawan Kumar is having some patents in the list. That was the only intention with which we made some patents initially. But then we were so fortunate. Having everything this in hand, now wherever I go, we talk majorly on doing IP. So here I will be showing you quickly some examples of innovation in IP and how do they impact. Look at Swiggly Baby Carrier. She's a staff nurse. She's a staff nurse who is the inventor of Swiggly Baby Carrier. It has got a world craze, right? It has become a global craze. She has become one of the millionaires. She has become millionaire. But try to correlate this with Jhansi Ki Rani Lakshmi Bai, 1857, where she fought with the Britishers. She was having a similar kind of arrangement. She held her baby in her lap and this fought with the Britishers. So knowledge was ours, practice was ours, but then Western people, they gave some fine tuning, finishing, and then it has become a technology. Right or not? And look at the other aspect. She is Ramya Jose from Kerala. In the year 2012, she has come up with pedal-powered washing machine. So no need of electricity, especially colleges like universities. So many hostels will be there. Better buy and keep this in each floor. Students need not have gym or no running, no tracking. Do this, both are covered. Yes or no? And look at Barbie doll. This is also a patented invention. Even the inventor has received lots of money. Coca-Cola, ring pull can. Whenever, suppose if someone offers you Coca-Cola, if cans are there, we prefer taking cans only, not the bottles. Why? For us, maybe we are very much fascinated towards this. The inventor used to get 148,000 UK pounds per day on royalty. The inventor was a lazy inventor. He invented sleeping at home. Coca-Cola could find the told, please give your invention, we will pay you. Just with that, they could get 148,000 UK pounds per day. That is the power of IP. And look at this guy, one of the youngest IP holder of the country, Hrideshwar Bhati. He has come up with 6-player chess in the year 2012. By 2019, he has come up with 60-player chess. If you are getting bored, get this chess play. 60 people can play chess at a time. 9-year boy. When a 9-year boy can think, imagine, think, create, and contribute, I think we all can definitely do it. And look at Michael Jackson. Why he is so popular? Breakdance. But unfortunately, in Bhubaneswar, you may not experience breakdance. If you want, we are also very good breakdancers. Go to metro cities like Kolkata, Delhi, or Hyderabad. Get into the city bus. Whenever driver puts the brake, you start dancing. That is called as breakdance. And once you start dancing, your driver will push you. Hey, hey, chalo, chalo. So with that way, you start shake dancing. Because of the driver breakdance, because of the neighbor shake dance. But no one credits us. Yes or no? But if Michael Jackson comes, the entire city, entire state, entire country will be after him. He has got world praise because no one could imitate him. And those who have imitated, they have to pay penalty. He could earn through royalties as well as through penalties. So that is the power of IP because he has got a patent on the shoes that he has developed and also the patterns in which he performs the dances. This anyway we all know the story. Whenever cricket, India is a country with cricket fever. That fever will never reduce. That will keep increasing only. Yes or no? And this used to be the case once upon a time. And we keep looking at the cricket players like this, as if the entire world and everything is happening there. And Sachin Tendulkar gets out at 98, our mood will go, everything will spoil, we start scolding. First we start scolding with the Tendulkar to all others, as if we are the very great mentors. And finally we only satisfy by putting the entire blame on the umpire. ये अंपायर का बहुत खराब है हर बार ये अंपायर है तो सचिन तेंदुलकर आउट दे देता है but we never thought of is there any possibility for a solution through which we can reduce this. Look at this example. He is the person individually contributed to the development of sensor-based dumping system. Even I have shown you the patent also. This is the patent title. Look at the title: System for indicating movement of an article from one position or orientation to another position or orientation. Just by looking at the title, can you imagine this about cricket stumps? No, only with the title. Because I am showing everything, you could say, yes, sir, it is cricket. But if I show only the title, it is not for the cricket. Not just for the cricket. But the invention is all about for the cricket only. The inventor is more intelligent. He could understand. If he makes it as a cricket, tomorrow people like us, the very next day itself, we invent something relevant to the football, basketball, that ball, and this ball. So therefore, he did not leave anything. Today, he controls the entire ecosystem, entire cricket ecosystem of the world. With single invention, just imagine for 20 years how much money he could make. Design also matters a lot. Indulekha is one of the popular design. You might have noticed it. And there was a survey which revealed that whenever people enter into the market or the store, whether they require oil or not, they pick up one Indulekha. Because it attracts them, that's all. Oh, देखने में बहुत अच्छा है ना ले भाई. That itself is a marketing concept, yes or no? Because the design is so attractive that it goes. And he is a welder by profession. Sarvanamuthu from Nagarkoil. He has come up with remote control toilet bed system. Welder. He has patented it. Today he don't find the time to see the number of orders that he is getting. And then making biochar from the human waste. Waste to wealth is a big area of research these days. Everyone talks about the conversion of the waste. One of the self-help groups from nearby Telugu states, they developed this. They are marketing this product under the name. They filed patents in several countries. Now they could capture a decent market. Few more examples. Charles Babbage is the inventor of the computer what we call today, but he has not patented it. Otherwise, he could have remained as the most richest person as long as the human life exists on this planet. Yes or no? And then aspirin, wonder drug, was a patented invention. And AC was a patented invention of 1906. Mobile phone, the most dangerous invention. People say when mobile phone was not there, human being was good. Humans were good. Because of mobile phone, humans have become bad. And then there is also a patent for the elevator. Lift was not a common practice in Indian systems, right? Until early 2000, people used to go to supermarkets or big malls to just experience the lift. But today it has become a common practice. Otherwise, this is one of the oldest inventions which was patented in 1861 itself. So therefore, here reaching to the conclusion, ideas are more important, but not just the ideas. How you convert them into physical outcomes. Each and every individual has a capability to generate about 60,000 to 80,000 thoughts per day. Though we all are present here, and we may feel that we are sincerely or very committed towards the session, some part of our brain is also generating the thoughts which are out of the scope of this conference. For me, for you, and for each and everyone, knowingly or unknowingly, it happens. And only those thoughts which have got some potential will be helpful to us. Whenever you find that your idea is useful, you should definitely own it. Not just idea convert it into practice or into a physical outcome. And here is the cycle: create, protect, and exploit. Creation part is happening very decently. You are creating, I am creating, each and everyone is creating. We are very creative in that aspect. But unfortunately, we did not realize the value of protection. Neither we were trained, nor we were nurtured, nor we were asked. So because of these reasons, we have totally neglected this part. And unless you do this, exploitation is not possible. Unless you exploit, no, you cannot make profits. So therefore, finally, only two aspects are more important. One is Saraswati, the other one is Lakshmi. You go to Puri Jagannath or Lingaraj, not because of the Lingaraj, not because of Jagannath. What do you pray to Puri, Jagannath? If you are a student, you pray for good marks, good ranks, good grades. Otherwise, good salary, good job, anything good, which is wealth oriented. Finally, IP is also more relevant towards making profits or making money. IP is a subject which is relevant to each and everyone, irrespective of the education, irrespective of the designation, irrespective of the sector we belong, it is relevant to all. I had already shown you some examples where welders have contributed, where nurses have contributed, where other communities have contributed. By definition, it refers to creations of the mind. Whatever you create here, if you reflect it in the form of a physical outcome, that may fetch you one or other IP. And we call it as a property. When it is a property, it brings some rights to us. As a property, it can be sold, it can be bought, it can be leased or rented, it can pass on the will, it can also be assigned. If you want, you can also gift it to me, to the people like me. Whatever you wish, you can do in the way that you do with your regular properties. But however, there is some limitation. The limitation is all about time limitation. Intellectual property rights are limited time enjoyment rights. If you have a big bangla, you can enjoy for generations together as long as you hold it. But IP is not like that. Even if you create, there is certain time period until which you can enjoy. After that, it becomes an open property. And here is the classification of IP. Broadly, it is of two types, copyrights and industrial property. Again, industrial property depends on two factors, information factor and innovation factor. If you are from academic and research, if you work on a problem and if you find out some solutions, it may be invention or innovation. So patents, trade secrets and industrial designs goes into this. And for you especially being from the management background, information is more important. Trademarks and trade secrets are the channels through which your product or your service can be taken to the market and you can attract the business. The other one is copyright, which includes the rights of the author and rights of the performer. Then here I brought you a flow chart how an idea can be conceived, converted into a physical outcome, and then it may attract a IP. Idea, if it results into an outcome which is expressive in nature, you may go for a copyright. Idea resulting into invention or innovation, you may get a patent. Idea reflecting the quality and identity of your product or service, you may fetch a trademark. And idea, if it reflects into a new appearance, only appearance what I'm talking about, it may be a industrial design. And then idea, keep it confidential, don't disclose with anyone, make trade, preferably get some profits. Then it may be a trade. Again, I had shown you these IPs with some examples. And here is the timeline. Patents are enjoyable for 20 years provided they are granted. Trademarks, industrial designs, and geographical indications. Initially for 10 years, but however, there is a possibility for further extension. Copyrights, lifetime of the author plus 60 years. And then apart from these, there are also two more kinds of IPs like plant protection and integrated circuits. Once the given timelines are over, neither the President of US nor the Prime Minister of India can help you out. Nor even Tirupati Balaji, nor even Puri Jagannath. Because these rules we have said, gods have no role there. And quickly, I'll show you a few examples on the trademarks and different types of IPs. When we talk about trademark, marks on goods, marks on services, certification trademarks, collective marks, any kind of representation which reflects the quality and identity can be classified as trademark. Even whenever you open your laptop, if it is Windows, some tune will come. That tune is also a trademark. So these are a few more examples of the trademarks from the products or services that we do come across from our day-to-day life. Starting from the toothbrush to the toothpaste to many others, always we are associated with trademarks. And then, unfortunately, we always admire film actors majorly, not others. But if you have admiration towards scientists or the people of your own field, you can bring some logos to them. I brought for I think many of you might be knowing, Darwin you might be knowing. So how if you make a logo for them, it may be something like this. So you can bring a similar kind, you can make a similar kind of representation. Then coming to copyright, copyright is a legal term describing the rights given to the creators for their literary and artistic works. You might be wondering why I am showing the same picture of J.K. Rowling holding her Harry Potter again and again, as if we don't have any other example. The reason is J.K. Rowling is considered to be more richer than Queen Elizabeth. Queen Elizabeth is rich by inheritance. J.K. Rowling has become rich by intellectual property. That is the power of IP. And all kinds of works like posters, cartoons, paintings, sculptures will go under copyright. Even the computer programs, brochures, cinematographic works, musical compositions can go under copyright. And then comes GI, geographical indication. This is a very special kind of IP for the countries which are having huge geographical diversity. India is one such country, and As of today, India has got more than 450 registered GIs, but India has got potential of having at least more than 30,000 GIs. So we are very much far behind in identifying or in tapping our own potential. Odisha has got about 17 GIs until recently, but few months back, Kathak filigree was added to that list. Starting from Kandamal Haldi to the Kodak stone carvings, Patachitra, and Sambalpuri cotton or saris, and uh, and many others. Rasagulla, there was a fighting between Bengal and Odisha. So Darjeeling tea was the first GI from India, and then the list goes. So any of these products can go under GI. Wine and spirit drink, foodstuff, agriculture, handicraft, clothing. Then comes industrial design. Idea, if it reflects into a new appearance, only the ornamental or aesthetic aspects are protected here, not the technical aspects. If everyone is having pen, look at the design of the pen. Purpose is same, but the design matters. So here it talks about, it protects about the aesthetic aspect. Examples from the consumer products, textile and jewelry, pharmaceutical products, and others. Why do you spend more time in shopping? It is because of the IP only. Kalyan jewelers and Lalita jewelers. The design appears to be overlapping, but they will never be identical. So because of IP again there. And coming to trade secret, anything that you develop, that you conceive, keep it as a secret and practice. This is the only IP where there is no time limitation. But the limitation is whether you are capable of maintaining the secrecy or not. As long as you maintain the secret, you can enjoy the benefit. Once the secret is gone, gone case. You don't have any other right. There is no registration, nothing is required. Conceive, develop, keep it with you and practice. The world famous trade secret is recipe of the Coca-Cola, formulation of the Coca-Cola. We all take Coca-Cola, but we don't know what exactly is there. Not only we, no one in the world knows it. Since 1886, it is a secret. And then KFC original recipe is also a trade secret. You don't know, you eat in front of you only they might make, but no one knows what exactly is going into there. And then comes patents. Patents are majorly given for the technological solutions which solves the problems in the field of science and technology. Okay? And it is also referred as a techno-legal document. Technically, many people are aware of, or the inventor is aware of. But when it comes to a patent protection, along with the technical part, there should also be a legal component. It's a conditional grant. It has got balance of rights and obligations. It is also subject to other parameters in the country. These are some of the examples of patented inventions. Look at them. Mobile phone is there, sewing machine is there, spectacles are there, bicycle is there, many others are there. But today, we are enjoying the most advanced versions of all these patented inventions. IP all in one. During our time, examination is no tension at all. Go to the market, get one book called as all in one guide, sit for 1 week, read, write, forget. You will get the result. That's all. But today, education is not like that. You have monthly exam, weekly exam, daily exam, hourly exam, minute to minute exam. Who knows? Coming generations will face minute to minute exam. Right? So here, Coca-Cola name and logo is a trademark. Image or creative content present on the bottle is a copyright. Ring pull system is a patent, that's a technical invention. Formulation is a secret, and then the bottle. It appears, it comes in different bottles. So each bottle is a different design. I'll show you some fee structure. There is a misconception that IP is very expensive, and so therefore we don't do. Whenever we call it as a property, every property goes with some financial component. If you buy a bike, you have to register it, and if you have a property, you have to pay the property tax. Similarly is the case here for IP. Coming to patents, startups, individuals, and academic institutions. They were divided into one category, others are others. For you, the advantage is there's a 80% reduction given to all academic institutions in India as well as abroad, those who practice patents. 80% reduction. So therefore, Monty sir was mentioning about a patent may cost about 5 lakhs for the entire tenure of 20 years. But for you being from academic institutions, it costs only 1 lakh. So 80% reduction is there. And filing fees is 1600 for you, and examination fees is 4000. If I have to file a patent, for me 8000 is the filing fees, 20,000 is the examination fees. So that is how academic institutions have got a great advantage. And coming to the trademark, 5,000 is the filing fees, and for MSME and startups, for others it is 10,000. And then copyright has got very less fee component. Most of the copyright material can be registered with 500 rupees only. In some cases, it goes to 2,000, and only for cinematographic works it is 5,000. And here is the fees for design: 1,000 for startups and small entities, and 4,000 for others. That is the fees, regular application fees. If you want to renew it after 10 years, 2,000 is the renewal fee for startups and MSME. For all others, it is 8,000. So and here is the IP structure in India. Always IP is under the control of national government only. Only it is under the control of national government. 4 patent offices at 4 metro cities, and then designs office at Kolkata, trademark office at 4 metro cities, fifth one at Ahmedabad, GI office at Chennai, copyright office at Delhi, and there's a patent training center at Nagpur. Then comes YIP. Quickly I'll show you. Look at the statistics. When in terms of publications, India stands at number 3. Very happy, we need to celebrate. But unfortunately, we are just happy by only doing this, without realizing what other activities we need to do. These are the 5 countries which are dominating the entire world by way of IP. China comes tops the list, followed by US, Japan, Korea, and Europe. 85% of the IP in the world is by these 5 countries. Now you tell me, any new technology comes into the market, any new thing you want to buy, majorly new is coming from any of these 5 countries only. Yes or no? New car, new mobile, new this, new that, whatever it may be, it is this. So here it reflects that technology is a direct technology is directly related to IP. So IP and technology are like 2 sides of the same coin, and unfortunately we don't have that coin. That is the only difference. And then coming to the trademarks, again China takes the lead. And coming to the industrial designs, China takes the lead. And geographical indications also, China has got 9,000 geographical indications, and India has got only 429. But all Indians are intelligent, all practices are new. And in last 5 years, we were filing 50,000 patents in 2018, but by 2022 only 80,000. 30,000 increase is there. But China patent office receives 16 lakhs patents in a year. Very 16 lakhs. We recently emerged as the highest country, like #1 country by population, surpassing China. But in terms of here, see, where is 16 lakhs and where is 80,000? Just imagine. And even the numbers are very poor with respect to our practices in all kinds of IPs. And if you want to know state-wise number of patents filed, Tamil Nadu takes the list, followed by Maharashtra, and likewise. Where is Odisha? Odisha is there somewhere with 567 patent applications annually. This is still good. Until 2022, the number was only 143. It was between 143, 141, 145. But now it has gone to more than 500. This 500 should become at least 5 lakhs. Every state in India has got the potential. But unfortunately, we have not realized this. And these are the top 10 academic institutions, because when government reduced patent fees by 80%, many academic institutions started making patents. Lovely professional universities top the list recent days. So likewise, the Jain University, Galgotias, all IITs together, though we talk very big on IITs, all IITs put together hardly files 800 patents. So when country will make progress? Country can become Viksit provided if the hundreds are turned into thousands or lakhs. And these are the design filings state-wise. They are in few thousands. And these are the list of trademarks. In trademarks, we are very good because India is a very big market for any kind of technology, whether it is developed by us or by foreigners. So therefore, good number of trademark filings are there. GIs again. See the list. Where is Odisha? Odisha, I told you, 17. It was having 17. Recently, few months back, 18th one was added. Why? What is the limitation for us? I believe this. Physically we are everywhere, but mentally we are nowhere. Yes? Even in the class, even if I sit on that side, half I will be here, some half other will be here and there. And only, oh, okay, we have to listen, then I will go in there. So it is the presence, and the second one is the teamwork. We are not at all good in working as team. This is a one-line answer. Whether it is faculty, whether it is student, whether it is management, whoever it may be, from top level to bottom level, all are same. There is no discrimination. But the people at higher level, they get more respect, but it appears that they are working as team, but in practice, no. Team as a team, we are a big failure. The third one is the risk. It is the risk which drives the innovation. But there are only three lines who like someone has described the Indian culture. Indians are poor risk takers, but credit seekers and safe keepers. Oh yeah. Yes or no? I don't want to take the risk. Be safe. If some credit comes, better take it. Anyway, it is happened. Take it. What is there? So then how do we make progress? So unless we come out of these three, no progress is not possible that easy. It may be possible only by saying, not by doing. Time has come, we are in a competitive world, but unfortunately we are not in the field at all. We are nowhere in the field. With 80,000 patents, where are you? You are not there in the field because the race is between the lakhs. So therefore, it is the innovation which distinguishes between a leader and the follower. Now the time has come for us whether we want to become leaders or we want to remain as followers. If we want to become leaders, we should definitely come up with smart ideas. Smart ideas are more important. And it is not just the innovation. Innovation integrated with IP is more important. If you do not have IP, this would be the scenario. Big will eat small, small will eat further small. If you are small without IP, you are in a very, very dangerous situation. And if you have IP, whatever small you may be, you can fight, you can resist, you can remain as you are. And with this single cartoon, one can summarize the entire essence of intellectual property rights. If you recollect the definition correctly, intellectual property is all about creations of the mind. Create, then if you protect, you get the rights. Once you protect, it is sealed. Why? If someone tries to exploit, you can stop them because already you have an IP on that. And here is the share of assets for top 500 companies in the world. This slide I brought majorly for you because being a management institute, I thought this would be more relevant. In 1975, only 17% of the assets were in the form of IP assets. But by 2020, more than 90% of the assets for top 500 companies in the world are in the form of IP. Whatever big buildings you see in Info City, that's only 10%. Their real wealth is in the form of IP. So it's a very high time, like the times of 1942. What was the 1942? Do or die was the slogan. Our ancestors did it. That is the reason why we all are sitting here. We are laughing at least. Otherwise, it was only crying days until before 1942. So now it is the slogan is innovate or die. Innovation keeps us recognized. Otherwise, we will be ignored. Ignorance is equivalent to death. And to practice that, always we should take an IP first. IP first, always first. And when we look into our orientation, our research orientation has been mainly towards making impact factor publication first. Do this, rest, leave it on others. Everyone does the same. So there is no concept of other. So how do we make the progress? Now the time has come. Of course, this is very much required. We are very good in this. But along with this, we should also be oriented towards India first, innovation first, and IP first. Whatever activity you take up, it should add value to the nation. Always nation first. Then whatever work you carry out, there should be some or other innovation. While sleeping, you sleep innovation with some new innovation. While talking, use some innovative skill. Yes or no? In each and every activity, in each and every aspect, you bring innovation. And then, wherever there is a possibility, you should take an IP first. Always. So, if we do these three things along with the existing practice of publications, certainly we can make a great progress. So, in order to nurture the people around us on the aspects of innovation and IPR, IMT conducts several programs. So, we have initiated a program called as MIND3, Mentoring Academic Interventions for Technological Research and Innovation. And we do conduct several IPR programs on the title New IPR, Neat IPR, IP Maxima. We go with catchy titles to make ourselves, to create a brand of ourselves and also to attract the people. And this land is land of Lord Jagannath, right? And in line of Rath Yatra, we have initiated a program called as CSR IP Rath. Last year we took this Rath to more than 1500 kilometers or even more. Daily 300-400 kilometers covered. We could sensitize more than 1 lakh people, covering from schools, colleges, local self-help groups, everyone. And this is a very unique program in the entire country. This has been listed in Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav portal also. We could receive appreciation from the ministry as well as other government departments. So these are some of the programs which we keep conducting on regular basis. And finally, the future wars will not be the wars that we already know. No wars will be of this kind. Future wars will be IP wars. It is the war on intellectual capturing or intellectual threat. So therefore, we should be ready for that. I just stop here. Thank you.
Definitely, we will come to the question and session once our last speaker speaks. So, a very interesting session indeed. To summarize it in just one line, the power of IPR transforms idea into impactful solution for this better world. We are really thankful to Dr. T. Pavan Kumar for that immense knowledge sharing session, sir, and making it a real-time audio-visual informative trip for everyone. Last but not the least, in the technical session, we have with us an excellent speaker in the form of Professor Dr. Shishant Kumar Mishra, Professor OB at HRM, IIM Bangalore. Sir has landed this morning all the way, and to take through his profile, sir is an editor-in-chief, IMB Management Review, Chairperson Research and Publications, Chairperson Center of Teaching and Learning. He was the past president of Indian Academy of Management. He has done his fellow program in management from IIM Ahmedabad, a Bachelor of Engineering from NIT Rourkela. He is an expert in the area of OB and HRM, has extensively published peer-reviewed journal, indexed, abstracted in, has a lot of books published to his credentials within 13 years of industrial expertise. Sir has more than 20 doctoral students participated. He is also a trainer for excellence, delivers sessions in number of corporates like ICICI Bank, IDFC, JSW, Larsen and Toubro, BAIL, LIC, IOC, and the list just goes on. So this dimension is praiseworthy. Let's put our hands together for the last speaker of the technical session. Over to you, Professor Mishra.
Thank you very much. I have 15 minutes time. I'll try to compress into 15 minutes. I understand I am taking more time. That doesn't matter. The point is I don't have any content today. So I'm taking this excuse. So good afternoon and thank you for your patience. Before I start, I thank USBM for conducting this seminar and also Principal Das and also Bisweta Madam for inviting me to this beautiful campus and beautiful institution. What I'll say is something different, right? I'll say, well, we talk about sustainability, and a lot of things, buzzwords are happening. And actually, are you really doing something or you are all talking about it? Right? So that's what I'll try to say. And then I'll try to find out, hey, if all people are just talking, where are we heading? Where are we heading? Right? That part also, I will try to highlight, but rest assured, I will try to wind it up within 30 minutes. Maybe I will have to complete it in 20 minutes. All right. Now, the United Nations, the countries they came forward in the year 2015 to talk about where are we heading because of a lot of calamities that happened and all that thing. And they say, let's give some sustainable development goals. SDG they call it. D is for development, right? And what type of development we have done, we'll come back. And the agenda for sustainable development they put for the year 2030. So in 2030, what we have done, right? So 15 years, the progress we wanted to see.
and they end up with 17 goals and 169 targets. They kept the targets to see how we are progressing in these development goals, right? Sustainable Development Goals, and they call them SDGs. Uh, Now look at what is happening with progress. I'll highlight two aspects and where it is going. Look at the world is severely, they did a progress assessment in 2024 and they found all the goals are mostly off track. We are not going the intended way we wanted to go. Out of 169 targets, 135 can be assessed using available global trade. 130 can be assessed. And 34 targets, we don't have any data to assess whether we are going or not. Right? This is the current state in 2024, and 70% display progress sufficient. Maybe we can achieve. Out of 169 targets, only 17 targets we have made some progress, and we are hopeful by year 2030 we will achieve something. If you look at the other side, 17% we have regressed. Means what? With about development, actually, we have not developed, we have gone on the other way. I'll give you some examples here. Now, when we talk about this, they talk about 17 different SDGs and 3 pillars were the economic, the environmental, and the social aspects, right? 17 different SDGs, development goals, right? And you'll see the goals. I'll focus on gender equality and also I'll focus on good health and well-being. We have now 15 minutes time, so I'll pick up two, okay? Now, the progress so far is 1 in 5 girls who have married before 18 years in 2024 report. 1 girl out of 5 girls they get married below 18 years. And 25 years ago, the score was 1 girl out of 4 girls. Right? We have made some progress. Is it substantial? We may decide. An estimate 640 million girls they get married below the age of 18, and 1/3 are in India. So the question is, are we really developing or not? You may take a call. And though women hold 40% in the global employment, 27.5% are in the managerial positions, right? Many of them are disguised. Right? Nobody sees them. They're gone lost somewhere, right? Are we really developing? I don't know. And our Prime Minister, in the 75th, Independence Day, he talked about a change in the mentality towards women. We need to change our mentality towards women, right? That's what our Prime Minister announced, right? And let me share with you some report from BBC. Incidents of crimes against women highest in 6 years from 2016 to 21. You will see 26.35% increase in the numbers crime against women. Are you really developing? You may think about this, right? The India is now people are calling rape capital of the world, right? Rape instances are increasing. You can say that it drop in 2020, again it has picked up. Are we developing? I don't know one SDG which is about equality, gender equality. Kidnapping and abductions, you can see it is increasing again, right? Are we developing? You have the answers, right? Could you see there is a hopelessness condition there? One way, all of them are beating the drums that SDGs, 17 SDGs, we are spending the entire time talking about development goals. But if you look at the data, the reality, it is not there, right? Actually, we are digressing and we are regressing in our development goals. What is happening here? And is there any hope that probably will make some impact in the society where we are living? Let me bring the health statistics, right? The 2024 report. The global, I'm talking about one aspect is suicide cases. The global total suicide deaths decreased from 7,62,000 to 7,17,000. Around 34,000 lost, decrease in a span of 21 years. Right? Really, are we developing? It's almost 7 lakh, suicides every year, and we are talking about SDGs. The highest burden of suicide deaths shifted from Western Pacific region in 2000 to Southeast Asia means what? Southeast Asia means India is the one of the countries there. So probably we are becoming the suicidal capital also. A lot of people are committing suicide. Suicide rate in India is worsening. As in 2019 compared to 2018, it has again declined. Odisha suicide rate is 14, right? Out of 36 states and union territories together, right? So Odisha is nowhere. We are also great in contributing this, right? Is it development? We talk about health indices and all that thing. Are we really developing? That question we need to ask. Now look at the depressive disorder, right? Depressions and all that thing. The red means the danger zones. Could you see Odisha somewhere there? Right? Our kids are going through a lot of depression. The depression system symptoms are there, right? And we talk about SDGs. Okay. Depression is more prevalent among youth, our future, right? We talk about our kids are our future generations. What is happening here? Post-COVID, you can see 16% increase in these symptoms, depression symptoms. Right? 1.25 billion people felt they were lonely or very lonely in a survey done in 2023. 2000, people are feeling lonely, right? And Gen Z is feeling more isolated than ever. Our new generation, they are actually feeling more lonely. Is it a symbol of development? Okay. And the World Health Organization, they say health is a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being. Right? Physically, we should be well. Mentally also we should be good, but also socially we should have good relationship. Loneliness is not a sign of that. And their constitution, it says mental health is more than just the absence of mental disorders or disabilities, right? Absence of disability is not you are healthy, right? Mental health means it is just not absence of disorders. Maybe we are happy about that thing, right? And unfortunately, if you see, and I can see that in this classroom, nobody is smiling. They have forgotten smiling, right? Is it a mark of development? Think about this, right? India's rank is 127 out of 142 countries in the global ranking of happiness. Where are we heading? Where are we heading, right? The countries came to results in that by 2030 we will achieve our targets, and we are either going in that way, in fact we are going in the other side, right? And we are using the slogan of SDGs, right? I mean, sustainable development goals. Where the goals are? Now, if I show you these numbers, is there any hope? Right? Look at the numbers, right? Suicide rates, loneliness, depression, all the things are happening. Our kids are struggling, right? There is hopelessness condition. Though we talk about big things, but actually the conditions in the field is not so great. At least I have got two SDGs. Some SDGs maybe they are making some impact, but it is not so good. In literature, the Lancet is a great journal in medical field. They are also now highlighting the importance of mental health. The Nature journal, they are also talking about the issues of mental health, right? The Science, they are also talking about the mental health issues, right? So our generation will pass into this mental health, right? Means we are not happy. Something is troubling us, and we have forgotten to smile or enjoy our life. Something is troubling us, the entire generation, right? But it is not so gloomy as you are saying. Also, there is some good news. Some good news is, if you look at one data, the dowry deaths are gradually decreasing. Something is happening at least, right? Some positive, some development is happening. And one interesting thing is, around 5-4 billion people have access to internet. They can use the technology, the AI, means we can quickly access millions of people, billions of people, right? And we can actually communicate and we can transform them a little faster. These are all good things, at least, right? Though there are so many mountains of negative things happening around us. Now, I'll give you two examples. Is it really hopelessness condition or we can do something, right? I'll give two examples which I have experienced. By any chance, have you heard this place called Indore in Madhya Pradesh? Right? Okay. Indore by 2016 and 17 was full of garbage. people don't have any civic sense. All the things are, you can think of all negatives that there. Potholes, roads are not good, there are all your kachara will be on the road. That was the terrible condition. And in 2024, they got the cleanest city for the seventh time in a row, right? And what they did, they started with this 3R, we should reduce, recycle, and reuse among their 19 zones. All the things will reduce the consumption. And they started May Jholatari campaign. Jholatari means I'll carry my cotton bag, not these, polythenes, right? And they started their campaign, and also they put some enforcements that you should not use these polythene bags. Gradually, people started using Jholatari campaign. They started, and waste to art initiative. What they did is 21 tons of scrap, they converted it into a Ram temple. You know, Sri Ram temple in Ajanta. They made a temple 40 feet by 27 feet sculpture with these 21 tons of garbage, right? Now people are going and watching that in December, right? What they are doing, could you see creativity? So what they are doing is waste to art initiative, right? This waste they are using constructively. Is it some sort of innovation? Right? So we say, now if you look at first presenter, he talked about knowledge management system. We also use a term called KMO. To innovation to happen, three things are required. One is I should know the domain. I should be expert in that domain. Knowledge is required. Second one is motivation to do something. I should be committed, motivated to do something. M. O is there should be opportunity also. You are motivated, but if you don't get any opportunity, probably you may not be able to contribute. So three things are important, and in Indore you can find all three things are happening. People are new, but to be done. Municipal corporation they new, and there is a motivation for people to say that hey, we are number one, and opportunity was anyway plenty because all garbage are around, right? And there's also started green waste to carbon blocks, and they earn money by that, right? And they started this internship with Mayor Initiative so that young kids will come and do intern for 45 days to 60 days and they'll give new creative ideas, right? And to that, they updated their processes, right? Could you see what is happening here? A city which has dumped with all garbage for the seventh time, it is the cleanest city, lot of innovations are happening, and the key is citizenship participation. If you go and talk to these guys who do this sweeping and all that thing, they feel proud that hey, we are working in Indore. Right? That sense of ownership of the city. You go to any village, people will think twice to throw their garbage on the road. That cultural shift, that mindset has happened, and citizenship participation is critical. No spitting. Abhijan, they started single-use plastic were banned, solar plant they tried, and they tried about public transportation so that the pollutions can be minimized. There are some nuggets. There are so many things they are doing through public participation. Things will happen once we try to involve people in that entire process. Once we change our mindset, we can do wonders, right? So if I talk about sustainability, sustainable development, probably one person sitting somewhere, it will not happen. At the end of the day, it connects to all of us, and for each of us, if you can do delta, things will be a little different. All right. I'll say to Andrek, by any chance you know this plant? Yes, one of our presenters he said that her father was working in that plant. So I am from Raurkela. So I worked in this plant also. I'll share my experience there. This was started in the mid-50s with German collaboration, right? And they are in the steel plant, they produce plate mills, hot rolled coils, cold rolled coils, all steel products, right? But around 1990s, it was a loss making. Overcapacity, decline in steel demand. Steel industry is a very cyclic one. So demand keeps changing. And interest burdens due to moderation of from the financial institutions, low capacity utilization, and union was highly politicized. The INTUC was there, they're affiliated to Congress, so a lot of politics was there, and this company was losing money and struggling. And that time, this guy became the managing director, Sanat Mishra, right? He was an R&D guy, and he became the managing director. And one thing he found was lacking is low employee confidence. They are not sure. Blame game was there. We are doing good, others are not doing good. And genuine people were not people were genuine, they lost their motivation. So what he did is try to infuse people, yes, we can do. That's all he did, nothing else. Yes, we are good, we can do. If I can't respect me, don't expect others will respect you. Does the class agrees? We need to find out ways to respect ourselves. If as a country I don't respect my country, nobody else will respect us. Does the class agrees? If always I say we are bad, rest assured we will be bad. But if we say yes, we are good, we will achieve targets, we will achieve targets, right? And we should feel proud about ourselves, we should respect ourselves. And that's what he did. He gave respect to people, yes, we are good, and it is because of the market conditions, we are not able to deliver, right? And things happen gradually. Raurkela, he converted it from a dead city to a great city to live, right? Best city to live, right? In his time period, got some dignitaries. Abdul Kalam, he gave, but when dignitaries come, a lot of innovation happens, people feel, your media attraction happens, so people feel good about it. Cultural renaissance started. So he did a lot of things so that people feel good about that city. So the company which was going down actually revived. I give two examples. One is Indore at a city level, another is a plant, right? Where not one person is working, thousands of people are working. The point I am trying to highlight here is development is possible. What it takes to do development or sustain development? Engagement with important stakeholders, including we all. If we can't engage, it's not possible. Right? We need to connect with people, right? These are all good things to talk about at the society level. But as a management teacher in a college, what can I do? Do you want me to go and do some housekeeping in the municipal corporation? What is our job? Huh? So I'm saying again? To teach students. Okay, that's my job. Okay. There's something beyond that, right? As teachers, can we infuse positivity in our students? Can we infuse them confidence, right? That is required. Our kids don't need. They can read the books. That's not a big deal. Can I infuse them? Yes, you can do. Can I give them that confidence? Remember, most of our youths are passing through depression. I mean, the data is saying they're feeling lonely, right? And suicide tendencies are very high, right? Can we as teachers give them that hope it's possible? And why I'm saying, I'm skipping some slides now. Uh, Outside in approach to inside out approach makes sense. Others will dictate what I am to let me dictate what is good for me. Let's enable our students, enable, give them the energies that they can reach out and conquer the world, right? We need to give them the importance. It should start from within. Does the class agrees to this statement? If an egg is broken by an outside force, life ends there. If it is broken from outside force. But if it is broken by an inside force, life begins. Does the class agrees? Let's bring some insight. Let's make ourselves strong internally. That's the message I want to give. If we really want to make sustained development, we need to empower and we should push ourselves. This is a book written by a person who was in the concentration camp. You know Nazi Germany? Concentration camp. Once you are in the concentration camp, your survival chances are less. You will be dying. But he survived. And what he found is people are dying every day, not that they don't have any food or medicine, they are dying every moment because they don't have any hope. They don't have any ambition, they don't have any purpose, right? And hence they are dying. And what he said is man's inner strength can help him to fight the outer world, right? Inner strength is required. Skill sets we can acquire through classes, but we need to be stronger inside. And that is the key, right? And if we can't, then probably we may get I mean, get side away quickly. So the teacher's role is to give motivation and also infuse confidence in our students. Yes, our students are good and they can do. We should make them strong internally. That's probably one step we need to go beyond what we teach to our students. Pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional. When people do marathon, this is a marathon runners, and he says when you run for long distances, 45 kilometers, 46 kilometers, pain will be there. But whether you are enjoying that pain or suffering, that is your personal choice. Right? Pain will be be there. Whatever task you do, lot of struggle. You have to put hard efforts. It's required. But at the end of the day, your purpose is clear. Probably you will enjoy that. If your purpose is not clear, you don't know where are you heading. Probably you may lose that sustainable efforts. So probably we need to find out why am I doing. As teachers, we need to give that hope to our students and purpose why they need to do. And I'll build on this why it's required. You know this person? He was put behind the bars for 26 years. How many years? 26 years he was in a small cell, right? And he became the president, right? And you might be knowing about the apartheid era where the blacks were treated in an inhuman way by the whites, right? Sorry, sir, looking at you, I remember the time. Right? And the country was at the verge of a civil war. And he pulled that country from the verge of a civil war to a BRICS nation. One person also can do, but he engaged with people. He engaged with people, and not only he did that, he took his entire country along with him. Right? And as teachers, we can do that. Does the class agree? As teachers, we build the future of the country. Alright. If we can infuse energy in our students, we can actually build the future of this country. And probably one aspect we do is teaching people what is good, the skill sets, but maybe we need to go a little beyond to say, to contribute to make them a little strong internally. Give them that confidence that you are good. They are good, but probably we need to tell them you are good. Somehow we have missed that. In fact, unfortunately, some of us we say you are not good. That is never a great idea. Right? Just give them the confidence that they are good, and you will, I guarantee you, they will find them. They will. You know the story of this monkey. The monkey was struggling with his life, and he was standing in a seesaw and thinking, should I able to jump this or not? A bear comes and says, yes, you can do that. You relate to the story? The monkey was Hanuman, and that bear was Jambavans, right? As teachers, we need to be Jambavans, right? And our students are our monkeys, like Hanumans. They can conquer greater heights. We need to give them that input, give them that confidence. That is probably is our duty as teachers. Let's try to focus on their positive energy, not on their weaknesses, not on their drawbacks, right? Uh, I'm skipping these slides, okay? So how much time? 5 minutes. I'll just close this with a small story, and probably you might relate to this story. This is a story of a young boy. He was pursuing his engineering from IIT Madras. It's a true story. And every summer, he used to go to Himalayas to practice mountaineering. Because his objective in life was, I go to Everest. Remember, going to Everest is not a small thing. Because you get less oxygen and you burn 15,000 to 17,000 calories per day. And you breathe 12 to 14 times every step. And your weather conditions can change any moment. Right? But he was a young guy, full of energy like you guys, and every summer he goes to Himalayas to practice mountaineering, so he is now well trained. So one day, he and his friends decided we'll go to Everest, right? Energy, full energy, well experienced and trained. And they started their journey from 2 a.m. midnight from the high camp. And their target was we'll reach this summit around 1 p.m. next day and we'll enjoy the entire moment. But that day the weather was a little rough. So instead of arriving there at 1 p.m., they reached this summit at around 4 p.m. But they reached this summit, they reached the Everest, and they're so highly excited that yes, we did it. And they enjoyed every moment of that achievement. They spent good time and enjoyed that we conquered, Everest. That feeling came. After spending some good time there, they plan to descend. You will make no comparison, right? Remember, they are well trained. While you go to a mountain, you have to tie a rope as a safety protocol, and when you come back, you have to decouple it because someone should not drag the other person, right? So they plan to return. While returning, apparently, they put their feet on a turbine. Turbine is something where the surface level is solid, and below that there is nothing. It's atom, and it exploded. And both trains fall on both sides of the mountain. Remember, we were talking about Everest, it's all ice flood, there is no friction, so he was falling fast. Around 90 kilometers per hour, he was falling. He lost 3,000 vertical feet in a short span of time. The terrain is not so smooth, it's very rough. After falling, he had bloody and thin skin, broken arches, damaged hips, and the body was bleeding with, with blood. But he was conscious. He was not fainted. And after falling, he walked day and night without knowing where he is and where he is going. But he continued walking. And he knew that my survival chances are less. Because this is a new terrain, this guy is coming from Tamil Nadu, and this is hilly area. So he thought that my survival chances are slim, and he didn't know where he is and how far from the civilization, but he just kept walking. Right? After walking for several days, not one day, several days, he was passing through a lot of depression, body pain, and also no hope where we are going. So he struggled with that pain, but continued walking for days and nights. Right? When needed rest, he never sat down. He knew if I sit down, I cannot stand up because of broken arches and broken hips. He used to lean against the rock to take rest, but he continued walking. After several days, he heard the barking of dogs. He heard the spent, voice of kids, and from a distance he could see a hut there. And he was hopeful and he collapsed. He lost his consciousness because he thought, I am in the right direction. A lady around 40 years age, she comes out of her hut, looks at this young boy, carries that boy on her back, takes that boy to her hut and tries to cure that boy. Cure his abrasions, give him some food, some water. What this lady realized, the damage is deeper, I cannot cure this boy needs medical treatment. Next day onwards, they are not able to communicate. This guy is from Tamil Nadu, he is from hilly area, so language barrier, they are not able to communicate. But this lady realized it needs medical treatment. Next day onwards, this lady, I'm sorry, this lady carried that boy on her back, used to walk for several feet, again take rest, again walk like 3 days. This lady carried that boy on her back, took that boy to another village down the hill. And he located the officials in that village and convinced them, please take care of this boy. This boy needs life. He's a young boy, his future is there, please take care of this boy. There's no hospital in that village, the villagers are not interested. This lady fought with them, convinced them that please take care of this boy. After lot of negotiation, the villagers agreed to take care of the young boy. And they shifted that boy. Remember, in hilly area they use donkeys for transportation. So shifted that boy on a donkey's back to another village down the hill. Right? Jai had some money, and this is a poor lady. Jai wanted to give that money to that lady. That lady was not interested. Right? But Jai could see the lady was apparently satisfied that this boy can be taken care of by a doctor. So Jai leaves to the village, another village, and the lady leaves. Right? And Jai reached there in that village. He found there is a hospital and there is a doctor. Though the damage was deeper, it was cured. So Jai recovers, right? And while he was being recovered, he came to know that his friend is no more. He has lost his life. Jai recovers, goes back, and continues in his career. After several years, he immigrated to US, did his masters from University of Oklahoma, and his PhD from Wharton Business School. Then he joins as a faculty in Harvard Business School. And his forte was supply chain management, and he could solve the problem the practitioners were facing. Right? And he was a big cert, he got a lot of awards, recognitions, and he's well established in Boston, in Harvard Business School. My question to the class is, what do you think Jai might have learned from this experience? Huh? 42. Anything else? Hope. Jai thought about this accident and he found, hey, I was lucky. I was lucky that I fall in the right side of the mountain, my friend was not lucky. I was lucky that after falling I moved in the right direction, I could have gone in any direction. I was lucky that this lady was so compassionate. I was lucky that the doctor was good. While he was reflecting about this, he also reflected about his life and he thought, hey, it's not just about this accident, I was lucky for. I born in a good family, because of that I could get good education. A lot of people, they don't get education, right? I could pursue my career. And he realized that, hey, I am lucky for. Is it about Jai Kumar or all of us sitting inside this classroom? Don't you think we are all lucky? Yes. If I take this perspective, don't you think there is a hope that yes, I can do something? Please rekindle that hope in you. If you cannot respect yourself, nobody is going to respect ourselves. Please have faith on yourself, and only I guarantee you, each of you will achieve a lot of great things. Right? Now, my question to the class is, what Jay should do now? Jay is well established in his career. What he should do now? At least, right? So that thought, this lady said, my life was playing in his mind. One day he comes back, just to meet that lady and tell her thank you. That's what he wanted. And he looked for that lady, but he could not find that lady. The lady was not there. My question to the class is, have you ever met this sacred woman in your life? Yes, no. This sacred woman symbol is unconditional help, unconditional support. When you are not in a position to walk, this lady might have hold your fingers to make you walk. When you are not in a position to take care of yourself, this lady might have stood behind you to protect you. Have you met this sacred woman in your life? Yes? One or two? Many, at least two. Right? And when you are in a position to pay them back, they may not be there, or they may not be in a position to receive what you are offering. Possible. Does the class agrees that just a small link in that long chain, we can't pay them back? What is our job? What is our job? I can't pay them back. Does the class agrees I should pay for what? Can I do something for the society upcoming guys? If that is the perspective, don't you think this sustainable development is not an option, but a reality? We have to do it for our future generations. Don't do it for others. Please pay back, try to pay back the loan you have taken from your parents. We said principal loan and a master loan. Have you heard that? Right? So we are successful because we are lucky. Please try to find out ways to ensure others are also equally lucky. So what he realized that, hey, I was lucky, can I increase the luck of these villagers? So we started putting schools there, let the kids have good education, hopefully their luck will be better. Right? I stopped this class with this message. Whatever people say, sustainable development and all the things, it will not happen if we don't put ourselves in that place. And as teachers, we set the future generation, means we set the future of this country. Let's take that small delta to help our kids to gain self-confidence, and who knows, they can do wonders for this country. And this country needs it. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you so much, sir. We can take questions from the audience. I will request both the keynote speakers to please come and sit on the stage. So, any questions from the audience?
Agree? You want to ask questions?
Sir, please. So, indeed, a very breathtaking story. I would thank Professor Mishra for this wonderful discourse. Can we have a huge round of applause for Professor Sushant Kumar Mishra? Then we would like to encourage the audience if they have any questions.
Actually, I have one question. Just want to visit talking about what is the triple bottom line of sustainability? Just
there. No. It talks about the carbon environmental taken care of, and reuse can be done. It's there, come up. You pick up Google will find it.
I did that, but I didn't literate myself about that
It's
concept.
there.
That's why.
Anything you can find. It's not a big thing. We should not waste others' time.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. So we are very privileged to have such eminent personalities who grace the occasion and made this technical session very successful. So it's time to acknowledge and felicitate our esteemed keynote speaker, for which may I request our respected Principal Professor Dr. Sanjeev Kumar Das to please come on the stage. Please, sir. Now may I request the stage Dr. Sushant Kumar Mishra, sir. So with a huge round of applause, we are really thankful to sir for sparing his precious time and coming all the way from IIM Bangalore and graces the occasion. Next, I would request sir to felicitate Dr. T. Pavan Kumar. A very interesting session, a very wonderful discourse, so we are really thankful to you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. You can have your seat. So with this warm felicitation, I would thank all the learned faculty colleagues, researchers, and all the students for patient hearing. So here we come to the end of this successful day. Before I sign off, may I request Dr. Devasis, sir, to propose the vote of thanks. Please, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mahapatra. Privileged to be once again among you. This time again, proposing the vote of thanks. This time the dignitaries would be different. I would like to thank Professor Mishra from IIM Bangalore to be with us here. And definitely we have been enlightened by his speech. Uh, Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. And please grace us again and again, basically, right? And I would also like to thank Dr. T. Pavan Kumar, Senior Scientist, IIMT Bhubaneswar. Sir, I was not physically present over here to listen to you, but hope the audience has enjoyed a lot. And we would like you to have you as well with us once again, not only once, many times again and again. And I would also like to thank Dr. Sutapa Pati, Dean Academics and Professor XIM University Bhubaneswar. In absentia, of course, he has left due to some urgent work. Uh, she has been phenomenal. I have heard her outside my organization as well in different occasions, and hope the audience has enjoyed it. And yes, I would like to thank all fellow colleagues and research scholars who have come over here from different institutions, spent their valuable time on this auspicious day of Prathamashtami. Uh, Thank you so much for making us proud and feel glorified with your presence. I would also like to thank all my dear students to have been sitting calmly, and I did not know you are so good students. No? We will have it in class, right? Okay, anyways, thank you so much for your patience and your patient hearing. And last but not least, I would like to thank our principal, sir, to have been facilitated us all through the last few weeks to make this event success. And I would also like to extend my hearty thanks to all my fellow colleagues, all staff members from USBM, all volunteers who are not here, they are standing outside. Thank you for making this day a successful one and hope you all enjoy it. With that, I conclude my word of thanks. I have an announcement as well. All the guests who are coming from outside, we have arranged lunch, and this is Bina Piyaja Rasuna. So, keeping Prathamashtami in mind, many of you may not be taking onion and garlic. So, please enjoy your lunch with us. Lunch is ready. You can have it in room number 104. And post lunch at exactly at 2:30, you can collect your certificates from the registration desk. Right? And students, please stay back with us. We have different programs for you. We will let you know. Thank you so much. We conclude the day. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Uh, all guests, please move to room number 104 for lunch. Uh, Professor Lubna Amrin. No, Shusha madam, could you please tell them to have lunch early and go back to registration desk? Our students, Samir, I hope Samir sir is holding me, that means he has some announcement for you. So let him finish, then I'll conclude. Students, you can collect your lunch coupons from Professor Sushant Mishra and move to canteen. Your lunch is arranged in canteen. You can have your lunch there. So please take your coupons from Sushant sir. Sushant sir is available. Okay, another information from placement department. So there's a link that has been shared in your WhatsApp group for Bajaj. So please register yourselves as soon as possible. Hopefully it will be off by today midnight. So make sure that you register before midnight. Right? Thank you all. You can move for lunch. Collect your coupons from Sushant sir and move for lunch in canteen. Thank you.
Stop, stop, stop. Na?